Welcome to Regina and Hollis Crime Chat. Um, we are going to be sharing, streaming the Sebastian Rogers press conference today. But before we get into all of that, I would just like to give a shout out to everyone that's already here with us in chat. Midwest, Paige, Kel, Low 12. Um, and here with us in studio today, we have What is True and Hollis. What are you guys doing? How y'all doing today? Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Regina. Good morning, What is True? It's Tuesday. Nice and sunny here down south.
After some
Good
terrible storms.
I heard you
good
guys all had
morning.
storms.
I didn't yet, but good morning, Crystal. How are you doing, gorgeous?
I am well, thank you. It's sunny here too, Hollis, in the
Oh, good.
northeast. But
Well, you
we're getting what do you call it? Uh a big snowstorm and tomorrow, and it's supposed to go till Friday. But I'm not worried about it because it'll melt by Saturday. So
it's so crazy to hear that because I need to mow my yard.
yeah, we're supposed to get 12 to 16 inches, I guess. So
Unbelievable.
we're gonna get hit, but it is what it is. It'll melt. No stress. No
So,
stress.
Regina, how's your morning going?
Meh.
Nah. What kind of answer is nah?
I
Nah.
still haven't had any coffee, ladies.
What?
Yeah, can you believe that?
No, I don't
Yeah,
drink coffee, but
no. Um,
hi, everyone in
okay.
chat, all the mods, everyone that's here. Thank you for joining us. What are you hoping to see come out of this news conference today, Hollis, Regina?
I'll
Wow.
let Hollis go first.
Yeah. Good question. I hate to say nothing, but sometimes nothing can mean something. So,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? I just don't know what we're going to hear much about. I really don't.
Regina,
I
what do you?
I think I'm more excited for the questions that people are going to ask than what they're going to say.
Right.
I
Well,
have,
Like, I could be wrong. This could be, we could get big news today, but I just, considering we haven't heard anything else in over a month, like, I think they're probably going to be telling us that they're scaling back. Um, and, I don't know. Like, I want to get to the questions part already, if that makes sense. Because I feel like that's, hey, Blondie, good to see you, girl. I feel like y'all, Blondie is so wonderful. Blondie is a mod over there on Evan. Oh, you guys, we have the presser live. Hold on just a second.
Ken Widener, KenWeidner. You guys ready? All right. Morning. I'm Eric Craddock in Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we're going to come to you today with an update on the Sebastian Rogers case. Sebastian has been missing since late February. The investigation remains ongoing with steadfast support from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and many other local and federal resources. We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in. As I said before, the investigation remains ongoing. The entire community is deeply saddened by what has occurred. We're all extremely concerned for Sebastian's welfare. I want to encourage the community to stay vigilant, to report anything that they think may be of some significance to the investigation, no matter how minute it may appear to be to you. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any tips, or the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center at 615-451-3838. We understand the anxiety and the concern that this case has caused in the community. We too share the anxiety and concern for Sebastian. I want to reiterate that we are doing everything we can to find Sebastian and bring him home. Despite the passage of time, the commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. I said this when we scaled the search back. Our commitment to finding Sebastian remains We will continue to investigate every possible lead that comes in. The Summary County Sheriff's Office wants to express our gratitude to the community and the many individuals who have helped in the search, the many individuals who have called in tips, the many individuals who have printed flyers and kept Sebastian's face in the news. Nothing would make me happier than to wake up tomorrow morning with a tip that cracks this case wide open and we find Sebastian and bring him home. At this time, I'll turn it over to Susan Allen from the TBI.
Thank you, WG. Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here. We know how invested everybody is in the search for Sebastian, in finding out what happened to him and bringing him home. And we want to let everybody know he has not been forgotten. Nobody's forgotten about him. Nobody has given up looking for him. At the beginning of this investigation, there was a large land search for him. It was very visible. There were also waterways, lakes, ponds that were searched. There were aerial searches with helicopters and drones and fixed wing planes. They were done at night. They were done on weekends. They were done during the day. That was very visible, and it was something everybody was able to see. But we want to let you know that even though there is not that high visibility in investigating this case, that we are not done. It's gone back to what could be considered good old-fashioned police work. Interviewing individuals, re-interviewing individuals, checking out leads, rechecking leads. We have been working with other law enforcement agencies who have had, in other jurisdictions, who have perhaps had some complex cases of their own that they have worked on to get tips from them. We have had, this day of technology with everyone having cell phones and doorbells and ring bells and surveillance cameras. That, as you can imagine, has been a bit of a chore to be able to collect all those and then review them. It's important so we know what's out there. We have been reviewing that, reviewing it again. We have had other agencies involved. The FBI has been helpful in that. Secret Service has also been helpful in that. So we are just trying to do whatever we can to advance the investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this. The parents have been cooperative throughout. At the beginning of the investigation, they have pretty much done whatever law enforcement has asked of them. At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of an indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know what has happened. We don't know where Sebastian is right now. So we are pursuing any and all avenues. We do want to caution there are some social media elements out there who purport to have information that is direct from the investigation. I just want to reiterate that is not the case. Some of the information that is being provided on some of the social media channels is inaccurate, incomplete. We don't want this to damage the investigation. So we would just caution anyone who is following the case to just use some caution as to what you see and what you believe. It's caused a bit of a distraction because a lot of what has been out there in some of the social media channels has been rumors and speculations and theories, and some of that has been advanced and people have caught a hold of it as if it's what's really happening. That has resulted in us getting information that is either, like I said, distracting. It's taking away time and effort from what the agencies need to be doing as far as looking for Sebastian. We have had so far, as of this morning, 314 tips that have come in through the tip line. It's been mentioned, but I'll say it again. It's 1-800-TBI-FIND. We are also taking tips through email, which is tips to TBI, TBI, at tbi.tn.gov. What's next? We want people, as Chief Deputy said, to continue to remain vigilant, get Sebastian's picture out there, continue to share his picture, his information. Now that it's getting to be nicer, well, not today with the weather, but now that the weather has turned warmer, people may be more inclined to be in their yards. If you go out and see anything that looks different, let us know. Something where perhaps a teenager could have hidden. If you have a large amount of property in the area or something that has any kind of holes or unstable footing or ledges where, again, where a teen could have gone to hide or to play, and you don't feel comfortable checking it out, let us know. We'll get somebody from law enforcement to go out there with you or to check it out themselves. We just want to make sure that every stone is unturned, that there's no stone left unturned, that we want people to make sure that we are looking everywhere we can. We do want to continue to get the tips, but please make it, don't provide information that you might have seen through social media channels. If you have information about Sebastian, about conversations you might have had with him, things he likes to do, places he liked to go, any people he may have mentioned that are in his life, that could be helpful in finding out maybe what he was interested in. Finally, we want to thank the community. We want to thank the media. You guys have been really good about keeping his name in the public's eye. That's really important. And thank you for your diligence in providing that information out there. And as Chief Deputy said, we also want to thank the community. From the very first day, everybody has really been all in as far as whatever they can do to help in the search, to help pass information on, providing water for the teams that were out conducting the ground searches. So thank you again to everybody. I'm going to pass it back to Eric Credit.
The weather is rolling in. We've got time for some questions. So yes, ma'am.
I was a few minutes behind, so sorry if I missed it, but has there been any indication at this point of foul play or anything of that nature?
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out.
We're not ruling anything out.
So 5 weeks, and you guys covered so much ground, searching, going back, researching, checked out every case of a possible sighting, nothing confirmed, not a trace of Sebastian anywhere, nothing found. No footprints, no video, nothing.
Nothing that is taken us to locate Sebastian.
And are there any working theories?
We come up with theories almost daily and try and investigate and make sure that we're doing everything we can to find Sebastian.
Share any of those?
No, sir.
2 questions, if I may. Have you ruled out Sebastian's mom's and stepdad's involvement in this case? And as a follow-up, have you cleared their alibi?
I think the TBI said it best. They've been nothing but cooperative with law enforcement since day one of this investigation. There is no evidence to support foul play on the part of Sebastian's parents.
Is that moving to Memphis interfering at all with your investigation? Is it changing possibly the avenues of communication?
No, sir.
You mentioned when you were asked about recent evidence, we heard some rumors that there seemed to have some validity, that there was glasses found within the past few days. Can you confirm that?
There were some glasses found in the past few days.
Or have you been able to identify that they were Sebastian?
We are still investigating.
And on the Cajun Navy, have you found how is that coordination happening? Have you found their work helpful? Are you guys working in unison or a separate team?
The Cajun Navy is operating independently. They have not reached out to us.
Have you found their investigation or their work helpful, or has it been one of the distractions that have been mentioned?
One of the things that I really appreciate they've done is print flyers and keep Sebastian's face out there. It's my hope that one day somebody sees something and calls in and this case breaks wide open and we find Sebastian.
They've claimed they've received threats. To your knowledge, have they filed any police reports or reports to the Sheriff's Department documenting any of these alleged threats?
No, sir.
Are we able to learn anything about what those threats are?
They would have to call the police and report them.
Where's the search go from here? It's been 5 weeks. There's been no signs. Do you believe he's still alive? And what are you guys going to continue working on?
My hope and prayer is that Sebastian is still alive. Yes. We're going to continue to work on this investigation and follow up every tip and lead that comes in. Some of this may revert back to us going over some things that we've already done for the 6th, 7th, or 8th time. A fresh set of eyes never hurt anything. We're going to continue to work to find Sebastian.
Have the stories been changing at all as you've been talking with people, interviewing them for a second time possibly?
There is no evidence to support foul play.
Are there any active current leads that you guys are pursuing?
We have tips called in daily.
Any of those tips seem legitimate enough to expand law enforcement resources?
Regardless of their legitimacy, we're going to follow up on them.
Will there be any other agencies pulled in in the search efforts for this case?
I'm certain there will be.
You met with the biological father and mother this past week. Is that at their request, your request? Is that just re-interviewing them again?
That was at the request of law enforcement. It's not uncommon to talk to the family in investigations like this. I've got time for one more question.
Just overall, how has this investigation impacted the morale at your department, especially with all the scrutiny coming online?
Let me put it to you like this. If my kid was missing, this is the team I'd want on it. The men and women of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, the FBI partners, the other local agencies, the Secret Service, everyone who's had a hand in this case is doing everything they can to find Sebastian. Morale's high. We are here and we are dedicated. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for keeping Sebastian in the public. Please continue to publicize this photo. Thank you all.
What a whole lot of nothing.
No, not completely. There's some stuff. Like, I didn't hear about any glasses being found. That was new. Regardless if they're, I mean, that, like, that was the first time I've heard that. And it
Did he
came from
say? Oh, go
Ellie.
ahead. Did they say where they found his glasses at all? I couldn't hear very well.
No, he just said there were a
No,
pair of glasses found.
I'm going to assume they were in the house with his shoes.
But they were found in
I
the
don't.
last few days. That's what he said.
Yep.
That was the other part of what he said. They were found in the last few days.
Hmm.
I
And did you see how he separated himself from the United Cajun Navy? Like saying how they're their own separate search party.
absolutely I did.
And oh, have they reported any threats? No. Well, do you know what kind of threats? Well, they would have to report them. So, I mean, that was a huge tip. So I think they're saying, yeah, they're separate from us. We're not dealing with that. That's not priority right now. And I get what they're saying. Like they need to find Sebastian. I think they'll deal with the United Cajun Navy after the fact.
Right.
Evidently, Seth requested. Wait a minute. Now, in that press conference, did he just said that Ellie reached out to spoke to them, right?
Correct. And that it was common in investigations like this,
Right.
which is true. I think, because they have questions, they need, like, if they
Do
need
we know?
new inquiries.
Do we know if
Mm-hmm.
how many search warrants they've done on their home
I've only heard that they went in once
once?
Yep.
at the
And
beginning.
they had multiple teams going in and out, but that was what Chris Proudfoot said. So,
The other thing I took from this is, and I don't know if you like how you guys feel about this, but I thought this was kind of an odd thing when he said, I want to thank the partners of the Sheriff's Department, the TBI, the FBI, the Secret Service. The Secret Service? The Secret Service is involved.
yeah,
Anything? Do you
that's.
guys, I mean,
I believe they had to be. I believe Secret Service was brought in to deal with the phones.
I thought that was FBI. I've just not heard of
I thought.
the Secret Service being called in on a lot of cases that are not like government
Oh,
related. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. I'm sorry. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to figure out how to do a poll.
What do you think, Hollis? Are you muted, Hollis?
Oh, I was muted. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. What do you think about that, though? The Secret Service being involved,
I don't
I,
know what to think.
and it kind of got dropped in there. You know what I mean? Like he just went through it and said,
What I really wonder is how long was he missing before Chris and Katie reported him missing truly? They reported him missing on a Monday, February 26th, but I don't
right. He
know.
was reported missing the same day that Madeline Soto was reported missing.
Yeah, but
Don't see a kid walking out of their home without their shoes, their glasses, or their phone, especially if you can't see without your glasses. And it's not going
Right.
to be comfortable in the freezing cold without your shoes on if your plan is to get away and you don't take your phone. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't think
Unless,
anybody came in and abducted him.
all right. Unless though he planned it, he planned to leave. I mean, that's not completely out of the realm. I mean, he could have prepared, I suppose. I mean, I doubt it because, like you said, the glasses and the no shoes and the phone. I think the phone is weird, and I wonder if the any of them when they went in there, they looked for like how we all have something we do when we're stressed out or we have an outlet, for happiness, anger, what. I would like to know what Sebastian's outlet was. Like, did he paint? Did he,
Right.
like Regina, your son whittles, right? Is that what it's called, whittling?
yep, he whittles and he collects, he collects uh different types of minerals and elements, and he collects bones like shark's teeth and like
So when
skeletal sets and stuff. And I mean, he's just got all kinds of different interests, really.
can I
He
ask you a
collects
question?
antique train bells. Yeah.
What does he do when, like, if he needs an outlet and like he just needs time to himself and something to do? What would he do? What would your son do if he had
Oh,
something on his mind and maybe he
I'll
didn't
tell you
want to talk
exactly
to?
what he'd do. I'll tell you exactly what he'd do. He'd go in his room. He'd plug in his salt lamp that's multi-sensitive and soothing. It's got soothing elements to it. He'd go in there. He'd plug it in. He'd put his headphones on and he'd jam some music out and just chill in his room and do that.
Which
But you got
which
to
is
think
normal,
my son's older than Sebastian a little bit. He's 19.
right? But we all have an outlet, like some people clean, like when they are like anxious, and it doesn't need to always be like upset. You could be anxious and happy, but you find yourself doing something like Cal in our mod. She likes to clean. So when she's like anxious, she cleans because it's like her outlet. You know what I mean? I would like to know what Sebastian did when he was going through one of something, you know? If he was upset or if he was happy, or what were the things he liked to do? We haven't heard
Well,
any of that.
I
well,
get the
Sis said
impression,
that he played video games a lot.
yeah, he played on his computer a lot. I get the impression they didn't pay a lot of attention to him. Wasn't he
Yeah.
in diapers when he was at their place?
Pull-ups,
Yeah.
But uh,
allegedly.
There's some
Allegedly.
incontinence going there for a reason,
probably fear.
and it's fear, and it's the lifestyle, it's the house he's in. It's fearful to him. That's what I'm grasping from all of this. So I don't think that either of these adults gave a rat's you know what about what would interest him or would even be in tune with how he operates as a child with autism.
Well, and my reason for asking that is because I'm wondering if they saw like drawings, if he he drew anything, or if he had a journal, if, he had, I don't know, a sequence of numbers written somewhere, like, like the 1, 2, 3, 4 crossover five, like 5 times I
Yeah,
had to,
right,
I got punished 5 times or whatever,
right.
anything.
Well, we know he liked his snakes. We
Yep.
don't know. I
But
mean,
those got taken away from him.
yeah. So
It's just hard because I want to know who Sebastian is, and I feel like we're not getting that. We're not getting that from anybody that's talking about him, other, like family members. I
Other
want to
than
know who
Seth.
he is. Yeah, I want to. And then the other part of that, Hollis, you just said he plays video games. Now I know. Did the sheriff's department take that video game and see
I
what's
sure,
on there?
I sure hope so, because I know it. Yeah,
Because you can
I mean,
connect all over the world on those games
that's right. And you can
and have a
lure
Yep.
chat.
anybody. You can lure
I just
anybody
want to
home.
I just want to take a minute real quick to say a shout out to you, Midwest, and thank you. Whoever received the gifted membership, congratulations. Welcome to the Crime Chat team. And Midwest, thank you again. Midwest says prayer for Sebastian. And I can't see the color of those hearts, but I'm pretty sure they're green. I believe green was Sebastian's favorite color. Yes.
I think so. That's been his color all along for his all his pictures and t-shirts, I believe. Green's my favorite color too. I love the color green.
It's my mom's favorite color too.
But like, what kind of
Look,
music did he listen to? Did he like music? Was there a TV show he liked? You know, did he collect anything? Any of those things. I just want to
What
know
was
about
he
him.
like? Me
Yeah.
too. Like, I want to know.
Was he quirky and funny? Or,
right,
I just want to know Sebastian. And I just wish somebody would start telling us about Sebastian.
Sebastian. I
Because it would
agree.
help. It would help to know like the things that he likes and doesn't like. So the things he doesn't like, he's probably going to avoid. So those are places that he's not going to go to because he doesn't like them. Do you know what I mean? Both.
right,
Like, did loud noises scare him, like to a degree that he would avoid areas with loud noises and stuff? So, I mean, like, I think there's a lot. I think you guys are right. I think there's a lot of things that we need to know about Sebastian himself because that is going to be our best chance if he is alive out there somewhere, scared, and hiding or whatnot. Then that's going to be our best bet on finding him is knowing these traits and his personality behavior because every child with autism is different. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't just put them all in one group, period. I mean, each one, like, they'll have their own set of tics, they'll have their own set of symptoms of their autism. um, some of them are hyperactive, some of them aren't. um, some kids with autism get excited with loud noises and they even gravitate to those kind of things. Some kids with autism are terrified of loud noises, you know? So
Well,
I think you're right, Crystal. I think that's very important. Go ahead.
the one thing that I saw on Twitter, and I wish I would have caught the name, but somebody said that you weren't like if you saw him, just to not holler at him, but just say Sebastian, not approach him because he might be scared. So that leads me to believe if he did run away, say he did run away, he's probably really scared, extremely scared, and probably confused, like, oh no. Do you know what I mean? I really hope he's been fed and he's warm and he's not cold. And I mean, the fear part we can't take away from him, but I just wonder if that was his behavior. Like if he was a little bit introvert with like maybe misconstrued with being fearful. Maybe he's not fearful. He's just, you know what I mean? I'm kind
right.
of talking
Mm-hmm.
in circles.
No, I
But
know what you mean. You want to know his personality, like what makes him tick, what makes him what
right, like
what
how
works and
would you
doesn't work for
approach
him.
him? Like if you do see him, how do you approach him? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I, I just think if we figure out who he is, that will lead us to him. And we haven't gotten those answers yet, and that's what's discouraging to me.
I tell you what bothers me. You've got a woman, the mother, who works for Brink's security system installing cameras.
Hmm.
She's got her van in that driveway. This child just ups and disappears, like kind of like remember Letitia Staunch?
Oh,
I mean, the kid's in bed at night. It's as if somebody picked him up out of that bed. There's no shoes, there's no glasses put on, there's no phone. It's why is there no camera footage of this child leaving the house? Was the front door or back door left unlocked after he walked out of the house? Nothing about this. I mean, everything about this situation is screaming foul play to me. And in the press, well, the little media update they did, they said no foul play. I think that's too. I don't think you can call that yet until you find Sebastian, whether alive or deceased. I don't think you can make a claim no foul play until you have found this child. Then you can make your statement. I think there's a lot of foul play involved in this. What it is, I
I
don't know.
I
I
think
You
don't
there's a
know.
difference. I think there's a difference in them suspecting foul play though and having any evidence of foul play.
Exactly.
And I
I
think
don't
that
think that. Yeah.
you
I
want to
think
know?
that's go ahead.
No, go finish. And I'll go after. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have a crazy theory. It's kind of crazy, and it just hit me. But
We love crazy.
with the Secret Service being in town and on this case, because we just heard from LE that Secret Service is on the case, and you don't hear about that. I have not heard that before. Not not in for some small town in the middle of Tennessee to have. I just never heard that. So what if he has been kidnapped and there was a ransom note and they're following the instructions of the kidnapper by doing what they're doing. And maybe this is why Seth is more hopeful because they had proof of life.
Okay, I absolutely know why the Secret Service is involved. In 2003, a revision to Title 18 U.S. Code 3056 authorized the Secret Service to provide investigative assistance in missing and exploited children cases when requested. The Forensic Service Division of the Office of Investigation manages the USSS/NCMEC liaison programs. That's why the Secret Service is involved.
Well, I'm just saying the Proudfoots have money. And what if, maybe that's why they called him in. I'm just going with my theory. I'm finishing my theory. But what if that's why they called them in to show proof of life? And that's why he seems more hopeful. I don't know. I mean, for me, that's a good scenario. That means he's probably being fed and protected and he's warm. Because we don't really hear about ransom cases anymore. If you think about it, we don't really hear
But if
about
those
those
are his
happening.
glasses, if those are his glasses that they found, how can he see without his glasses? Like, so I hope, I don't know what to think. I'm just,
Hollis, what do you think?
Well, I think the mother was the last person seen with this child. I think the mother is responsible for this child not being around anymore, is what I think. How and why and when, I don't know.
off the record says his favorite song is The Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, that's right. They were trying to play that to lure him out in case he heard it. That was a few weeks ago. I
Oh,
remember hearing that.
Eye of the Tiger is a great song. That's a great
yes, it
theme
is.
song. That makes me smile that he liked that song. Cause I mean, what if, did he sing it when he heard it? Did he dance?
Could the Secret Service have been called in because one of the set of grandparents went to Alaska? So they're part of like Homeland Security. So they were checking all of that stuff out.
Well, they
Because
were
the U.S.
they were
Marshals,
requested.
like U.S. Marshals, will get the Secret Service involved to do Homeland Security checks for, like, if a passport's been used, a stolen passport, things like that. So I'm wondering if they were checking off on these grandparents that had gone off to Alaska and just returned, what they were doing there. I wonder if that's why they called the Secret Service in to question them. Maybe, maybe not.
Possibly. I mean, anything is possible with this case. It's it's not really like any other case.
I
It's
don't
really
see
not.
it's not.
Uh,
I don't go ahead, Gina. I just
Um,
don't
go ahead.
I
I was
just
just
don't
gonna say. Whoops, sorry. Go, Alice.
I was going to say, I just don't see this mother looking at the camera, begging and pleading for anyone to help find her son.
Well,
I don't
as
see that from this mother at all. I see it from
as
the father, Seth,
I can't argue with that, Hollis. I
but I
can't.
do not see it in the mother. I see no maternal. What I see in the mother is that she's accepting the fact that her son is deceased and that she's just trying to do whatever she can to get through it and um, not grab attention to her.
I want to talk as a parent for a second, not as Crystal or what is true, just a parent. So for me, like Sebastian went missing on the same day Madeline Soto did. And
Supposedly.
and it was all about Madeline Soto, which she deserves her attention, she deserves her justice. I'm not downplaying that at all. But it was almost like Sebastian got lost and then Riley happened. And again, he was lost in the mix. You heard very little on mainstream media about him. I'm not saying that the town and the people around there weren't searching, but it wasn't like the big news. And
Right.
as a parent, I would feel very discouraged knowing that almost as if my child wasn't as important as them. They weren't getting,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? And I think that's where people get frustrated with these cases because every kid matters, every person matters. And so as a parent, I
So,
would feel discouraged, but I would
uh,
also have the anger, like propelling me to do and be out there.
absolutely. The Journey to Justice says, did you hear that video of Sebastian and mother? She is snapping at him. You're
That was
talking about the
actually,
Roadhouse video?
no, it's a different video. It's a video of him at like some arcade, and it's not his mother, it's his aunt, and it's Chris Proudfoot's sister. And I heard the same thing. I was like, unbelievable. He wasn't even doing anything. And she was like snapping, saying, stop, stop, stop. And it was sad because he wasn't doing anything. He was just asking a question. So it really is sad.
I think that Low 12 says, I want to see camera footage of him going home after dinner. Also, they said he took garbage out. I want to see that camera footage too. I would love to see the camera
I
footage
agree with
too.
that.
It's been like, what, a month now? How come mommy can't
Hmm.
provide it? Why can't mommy provide video footage? Why don't we see any neighborhood footage?
Right? Because in Nina's interview, she said, she was like, Chris, don't y'all have cameras everywhere? Like, basically, not those
There you
exact
are.
words, but I mean, she was like, y'all got cameras. Like, don't y'all have footage? Remember that?
I just feel like there's something bigger at play. And when it all comes out, we're going to be like, holy guacamole. I didn't see that coming, type of thing. Because I just feel like there's more. There's so much more
I
to
think it's a
this.
simple case of a mother, and anyone you don't have to agree with my opinion. We're all just opinions, but I think it's just a simple case of a mother annoyed with her child who preferred her man over the annoyance of the child. And I
And
think it
I,
eventually got to the point where I mean, you heard what Chris said. Chris said, well, he'd get up in your face. Everything he said was an annoyance that this child annoyed him. And there's no doubt that he expressed that to her. No doubt about it. And I have a feeling he said it's either him or me. And
oh, and
I think she did a Susan Smith move.
I do
I
agree
think
with
it's
your
a very
scenario.
simple case. I just think that it wasn't jumped on quick enough. The evidence wasn't found. Now it's it's time's going by.
Oh, I
Too
I
much
want
definitely
to know
think
time has
where
that
gone
these
by.
you're,
glasses, I think these glasses, I need to know where they were found. And I need to know, personally, like, I need to know if they're Sebastian's.
Do you
That's
want me
what
to
I'm
tell you where I
concerned.
think they found the
Oh,
glasses?
hold on just a second, Hollis. Mars, Australia, thank you so much. I mean, Maurice, I almost said it, didn't I? I did say it, but I fixed it. Maurice, thank you so much, sweetie. It is so good to see you. We love having you here. She said, thank you for all you do, Regina and Hollis. I enjoy my time here when my time zones permit. 3:30 a.m. Wednesday here, and I got notified. God bless you. We love you, Maurice. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, that's you guys are too kind, and we're so blessed, all of us, to be here with each and every one of you. So God bless you, all of you, and we're
can you,
grateful for you. Thank you.
can you repeat that? I can't see what it says.
She said, thank you for all you do, Regina and Hollis. I enjoy my time here when my time zones permit. 3 30 a.m. Wednesday here. I got notified. God bless you. And that is a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Maurice.
That's
Oh,
from
Oh,
Maurice from Australia.
thank
yes.
you. We love
I,
having you.
I
I
love
would
it when
say,
she calls in. I love her accent, you guys.
I know, right? I'm going to say one of two places the glasses were found. Either obviously right on his nightstand, or, and I'm going to go way out here on a limb, way, way out on the limb, in her Brinks van
Ooh.
that Chris says they don't have a right to look at because it's Brinks's van. How
Mm.
convenient. And I think the mattress was in that van too. I think Sebastian and the mattress went in that van. And I think they got the mattress not for the daughter who's there every other weekend, probably, but I think they needed to replace the mattress. I need to see camera footage of this child too.
I mean,
I
I
don't trust
agree with your
anything.
assessment,
I don't
Hollis.
trust anything these parents are saying. The Chris, the stepdad, and Katie, not one bit.
Oh, and I agree.
As far as I could throw them.
I mean, there's just so many possibilities. Your possibility is probably on the top of possibilities, but it's just this case is just crazy. It's just crazy to me. Speaking of which, Regina, are you going to take Carlin's today?
Yes, I actually am setting that up as oh we
Maybe
speak.
Maurice can call in. Wouldn't that be nice, Hollis?
Yeah, that would be. It's kind of like Caleb Harris, who went missing out of Corpus Christi.
Yeah, that's a crazy one too.
That's another one, just, boop, gone.
It's like this big claw, and I don't mean to make this isn't me joking. This is just me being kind of sarcastic, but it's like we're supposed to believe this big old claw from the sky, comes down and just plucks people, and they just disappear, and they're
Right.
never to be seen again.
Never to be seen it. Yep.
And
I can't help but wonder, did Caleb, for some reason, even though that delivery was being dropped off, I think the people said for his trip the next day to go fishing or whatever. I can't
Uh,
help but wonder if he got a bug in him to go down by the water. Because where they
uh,
live, I Google Earthed it, they're literally across the street from the ocean. I'm scared he went to go do something with either with whatever he was going out to do, or did he go to do some night fishing? Like, what did he go do? That one bothers me.
oh, Kel, thank you so much, and congratulations off the record for Kel gifted you a membership. Welcome to the Crime Chatters team, and we're so glad to have you. And yes, Secret Service does get involved with data and stuff like that whenever it comes to missing children. I think the Secret Service was called in um, because they do have the missing and exploited children's division. And if Sebastian was playing games online, I think that's why the Secret Service was brought in personally, but I could be wrong about that. Thank you,
No, they could have
Kelly,
been.
again, by the way.
That would make sense too. That would make total sense because you don't know those child predators get on those gaming systems and they start making connections with these kids.
Hello, Destiny Nyla. I hope I said that right. Welcome. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Hollis. Go ahead.
No, it's just that, these kids, you have the predators on these computer games that can sometimes lure these kids out, meet,
Absolutely.
meet them up and whatnot. Now whether or not Sebastian would have been game, game to doing that kind of a thing, I don't really know.
well,
I
he
don't,
was gaming at his dad's on his dad's account. He did say that because he said in one of his interviews, I don't think he has internet at his mom's, but with me, I let him play my games because I don't have TV. I haven't had TV in 10 years. So everything's on his phone. So I'm sure he was, I mean, even in Seth's words, he was able to call, make a phone call, take a picture, send a picture, send texts, use a calculator. So, I mean, I'm sure he was capable of talking to other people online if he had access.
right.
Maurice, darling. Very good question.
Exactly,
Lady,
Maurice. Thank
how do
you.
you kidnap a 15-year-old from a locked house without the mother hearing a thing?
Bingo.
That is,
I
man,
believe I
that's
believe
a
she said she heard a thud and she made that up to explain away or excuse away when they find this child, to explain away a possible head trauma. Oh, he must have fallen out of the bed.
Are the phone lines open?
they sure are.
She
Maurice,
felt
call
it
in.
she felt it so important to tell everybody that she heard a thud. She heard a
Yep.
thud.
And that
But
was added
but
on.
yeah, exactly. Because in her first interview, it was, I just heard him in his room making some
That's right.
noise and I told him to go to bed.
Now, if I heard a
But
thud in one of my child's rooms, I get up and go in there. I've got a 14 and 17-year-old. I'd get up and go because I don't know what happened. I wouldn't just let it be,
Well, and not,
especially if I had a special needs child. I wouldn't let it be.
well, a special needs child with that CSF, that if he hits his head, he could die.
Right? It
I
just,
mean,
nothing makes sense with this mother, and I just don't trust her as far as I can throw her.
but I don't think she heard a thud.
yep.
I think that was her just adding on to a story. Because if you did, you would have said that initially. So I don't think that actually happened, in my opinion.
What don't you think actually happened?
A thud. I don't think she heard a thud.
No, I think she created the thud.
Yeah,
I
well,
think, yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. I think,
That's why when she takes
I
the
kid
lie
you guys,
detector test and they said, "Did you hear a thud?" in her brain, she can say, "Yeah, I heard a thud."
oh, and by the way, Nancy Grace is still offering to pay for a lie detector test for Chris Proudfoot, and she has not received any responses from him.
I'd like to see one on both of them.
yeah, because I started to say, has law enforcement actually verified that Katie Proudfoot took a lie detector test?
They haven't really verified anything.
Anything?
They're keeping whatever very close to them. And it's either they know stuff and they don't want it to get out, or they know nothing. There's really no in between, really.
Off the record, I do too. Sadly, I do. But you know what, you guys? I'm praying for a miracle because if they did find Sebastian's glasses outside of his home nearby, that means they're on the right path. Or if they found his glasses at all, that means they're on the right path. Y'all know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
if they found Sebastian's
Right.
glasses,
Then
there's
something's going
proof.
on.
Yes, there's either he's alive, wandering around, or he's nearby or in that direction. They're headed in the right direction. Does that make sense? It
Mm-hmm.
seems like them. If it is his glasses, they're headed in the right direction, and that makes me
But
hopeful that he's found either
but Regina,
alive.
but we
Go
haven't
ahead.
heard from them at all. So I kind of feel like them telling us that they have his glasses, they could have had his glasses 2 weeks ago, you know? We haven't been privy to anything that
Wait, I
law
thought they said in the
enforcement has
press
known.
conference there had been glasses found in the past couple of days.
That's what they said, yes.
So
Specifically in the last couple of days. You're right.
yeah, yeah. So that means that if they did find his glasses, that is new and it's big because it means they're on the right path. That's what I'm saying. If it is his glasses. But they didn't verify that they were his glasses. They said they weren't sure at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the reason Chris and Katie went away, do we know if they did a second search warrant of the house? Remember when they went to the RV camp? Do you think they did a second search of the home?
I don't
I do
know,
not
but
know.
you know what I thought was weird when Chris Proudfoot said, "Did you look between the bed? Did he fall down between the bed?" And then Seth said, "If he's hiding somewhere when we might never find him because he must be good at hiding." Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I took from
Seth
that.
Seth did say in an interview also that he did teach Sebastian how to survive. Now, I couldn't help but take
Hmm.
that as survival skills. Not
Right.
Chris Proud, but Seth taught Sebastian. Did I say Chris?
I thought you said Seth, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But don't you
Yeah.
think after 5 weeks of him, quote unquote, hiding as a child, a 15-year-old, I mean, someone's got to have seen him by now. He's 15, you know? It's cold. He's hungry. He's tired.
Yeah.
Scared.
Yeah, I just don't see him being out there surviving for 4 to 5 weeks because he's trying to run
Although
away.
there is another person I have heard speak on these YouTube streets who is I think he has Asperger's and he's on the spectrum of autism, and he said that he ran away when he was like, I can't remember how old, 14 or 15, and he never went back. Like he went to school every day, he showered in the school, and then like he hid in a building out back, and I mean, he went on to have a very successful life, but he left his home because of problems and he just never went back. So I don't know, you know, I just don't know. And like, we're all different. We're so different. It's crazy. I just hope he's alive. I really do. I can't give up that hope. Like, I'm one of those people that I've lost hope in humanity, and I don't want to lose all my hope
Right.
because without it, then I'm just going to be this miserable human being. You know what I mean? So I have to find hope somehow.
I mean, I
Realistically,
317 ND317 says glasses were found on the street. Brandon says they don't know if they're his. Um, they were found on the street. Oh no. Mm-mm-mm.
how come those phone lines aren't ringing? I really want to hear what people have to say.
Yeah,
Not that I don't enjoy
what are y'all
us,
thinking
but
right now?
what
Are
do you,
y'all thinking that the glasses are a nothing burger, or do y'all think they might be Sebastian's? What are you guys thinking right now? Put a one in the chat if y'all think that the glasses might be um Sebastian's. Put a two if you think they're a nothing burger.
put a 2.
I would put a 2 if I could. Hollis, put a 2 for me.
Okay.
Oh, you got all two.
Good.
Call from Maurice.
Maurice.
Yay.
Maurice in the house. How are you doing, beautiful?
I'm doing really well. How are you all?
I'm doing fabulous, fabulous. It's a beautiful day outside. I know some people are gonna get storms later, but it's actually it's. Oh, I'm seeing some cotton candy clouds. We might get some more storms too. Who knows? Um, but it's still pretty outside right now, warm. You know what I mean? So
At,
it's a
the, at,
beautiful day.
at what time is it over there?
About 5 o'clock this morning.
All right. It's yeah, it's 4 o'clock here, 4 a.m. On Wednesday.
Oh, bless your heart. So you're burning the midnight oil, aren't you?
I sure am. I got a notification at about, I think, 14 minutes after you started, and I came in on the press conference. So there we go.
What do you
I have
think?
different, oh, chaos. I've
Chaos?
never heard of anything like it. Have you?
I
I've
have,
delayed.
but not in any cases where the child was ever found alive.
Absolutely not. It's just ridiculous. And I mean, the more they speak, I believe that the more they're actually burying themselves, The Chris and Katie.
I agree.
Hollis said she agrees. I think that look, I think Seth is pretty honest. I have found his statements and everything to be pretty honest. Everything that I've seen Seth do, I've seen line up with what I think personally, from my point of view as a parent, how I would be behaving and what I would be doing if it were my child missing. Um,
Absolutely.
but I just, after catching Seth Proudfoot lying he said on Facebook that he took a lie detector test. Him and Katie did, and
Oh,
they
yeah,
both
right.
passed.
Chris,
And
not
I
Seth.
did
then
too.
and then he comes on Nancy Grace interview and says, I haven't had a lie detector test. And
That's
then
right.
between the adding on to each something new to the interviews each and every time, like the first time he was making noise in his bedroom, and the second time it was a loud thud. I think I agree with you. I think they're burying themselves. If they're
How,
innocent,
how, how
if
do you
they
find
are
a thud on
innocent,
a carpet?
right?
How does she, yeah?
How does she?
How does she hear a thud on a carpet?
I'm sorry.
Carpets going thuds.
Could you
Said
say
his
that?
room's got carpet, right?
Yes.
She said, how would she hear a
If there's
thud
carpet in
on a
your room,
carpet?
you're not going to hear any thuds on anything.
You're
Thud.
right.
How do you hear a carpet? It's padding, and then there's padding under the carpet and a cement floor. You're not going to hear no thud.
That's a very good point.
I
Unless
just
something
think
was
that
hitting
I
the
don't.
wall or yeah, really, how would you hear a thud unless something hit the wall?
Well, she'll have if he hit a wall, there would have to be nowhere near a bed, or he levitated into the wall, one of the two, right? Because someone had to hit him or do something to get him up a wall. I
Right.
don't know. It just everything is just convoluted as far as I'm concerned in what they're saying, which is
I
crazy.
listen, I would take anything Seth Rogers said as gold. I really would. At this point,
Oh,
I
I
do.
100%
But
agree.
but when it comes to the Proudfoots, I think the only truth in anything they say are the Freudian slips.
Yes,
I think that's it. I think that's it.
absolutely.
You know,
And
and
also,
go ahead.
after Nina's interview, my gosh, it put such a different light on everything in a very different way as well.
Right. And the thing about the Nina interview is everyone wanted to discredit the Nina interview and say, "Oh, take it with a grain of salt." But now there's actually court documents coming out supporting everything she said.
I think he himself has proved in his own way that everything she said was 100% honesty. Who can sit there for 2 hours going through their life story without any form of any glitches or anything? She's got nothing to gain. She's got absolutely nothing to gain coming out and saying that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I wish the other three wives come out.
The only thing for me
The
is,
three more
does
wives.
that interview actually point us in a direction where we can find Sebastian? That's my thing with that Nina thing.
it's hard to tell at this point, really. Like I
Yeah.
have to take everything into consider. Sorry, Crystal asked a question. She said, "Could you repeat the question, Crystal?"
I
Oh,
said, did the interview with Nina lead us in more of a direction to where we could find Sebastian? I don't
right.
think so, in my opinion, but
Maurice, what is true?
Yeah.
Asked the question. Did anything in Nina's interview lead us to point us in a direction to where we could find Sebastian? What do you think?
I don't think that she could help to find where he is now, but she shed a lot of light on his aggression and his cruelty towards her children, and also her daughter, the oldest girl, actually was a witness to him hitting Sebastian.
Right.
Right? And she was supposed to, Sebastian was actually supposed to be in court with them for Fate's custody hearing.
Oh yeah.
Right? So that's a good way to not want him around, isn't it?
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that, Maurice. I hadn't even thought of that, girl. Ooh.
Yeah, and that was what 3 days or something before that he went missing.
Right, because Seth raged. Well, he yelled. Nina said he screamed at her. We're not gonna have. We're not gonna have the court trial or whatever. We're not
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
court.
exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
And said that. So it's what we read between the lines. You can get lost a little bit sometimes with as parents. Naturally, you see how you react and how they're not reacting. I'd be in a mental hospital or I'd be in a jail cell, one of the two. because if it's your child, you cannot be that blasé and that sort of blank. There's absolutely no feeling or
I
any sort of
agree.
need or want to find him at
I
all.
I
Crystal
do.
said
I
she
don't know. That's how I
agrees.
feel.
There's
Yeah,
a
Crystal
Absolutely,
said
it's just
she,
ridiculous.
there's a lack
yep.
of love. I haven't heard
Yeah,
any.
I don't know. I can't. I couldn't even do that if I lost someone's puppy dog. I don't have pets, but you know what I mean. I have 4 children and 6 grandchildren, and I would not be able to sit in my chair for 30 seconds for you to talk to me, leave alone sit there interview after interview after interview, changing stories. It's like, what the heck are you saying now? I
You
The
don't
thing
know,
get.
for me, we haven't heard her say, Sebastian, I love you. If you hear this, come home. If you have Sebastian, I love him. I haven't heard her say that.
I'm
So that's
starting to be
troubling for
scared
me.
of coming home to my home in Tennessee with all this stuff going on right now.
right. Yes. Uh, I'm sorry, Maurice. Could you say that last part again, hun?
I said, I'm almost scared to return to my home in Tennessee at the moment, the way things are going on over there.
You have a home in Tennessee, girlfriend. You live in Tennessee.
I sure
Oh,
do in Chattanooga,
wow.
girl.
Wow.
I have
In
a,
Chattanooga. They
I've
write
been in
songs about
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. I've been to Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. Yeah, I can't travel home yet because of my surgeries from my accident, but I do have a home in Chattanooga.
But you're gonna be healed up soon, right? You're getting there.
Um, Almost 2 years, they said, before I can travel because I had a hip replacement, a femur, and a pelvis reconstruction. So I can't, too long a flight.
Oh, yeah, way too long of a flight. Oh, and
It's
I couldn't
19
imagine.
hours.
Oh my goodness, bless your heart.
Yeah.
That's a whew.
I can't sit
Mm,
for 19 minutes at the moment in one spot.
right.
Yeah, but I will be home sometime. I am a dual citizen, both of here and there. So, I travel between the two.
And you had a wreck while you were in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh my
Christmas
goodness.
Day. Christmas
Bless
Day
your heart.
not last year, the year before. So I had a T-bone by semi, and yeah, took me out because we over here we drive on the right side of the car, so I got T-boned on my right side, and that's the leg and everything you need to drive with. So, but besides that, it's travel is too much. So 2 years. I've got a few more months. I'm a bit rebellious. I'll be back soon.
Well, it'll be good to have you back on the native. Well, not your native. I guess your native would be Australia, but it'll be good to have you
No,
back
no,
on American
my
soil.
native is not Australia either.
Where?
That's
Well,
why I have this mixed up accent. I
you
was
told me
born in
where
Sri Lanka.
in Sri Lanka. Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and I left when I was like 11 or 12 or something. Came here and then went there, and I've been going through the two between since.
Well,
A
no
bit
wonder
crazy,
you're
but
so pretty though. Like your profile picture,
oh,
girlfriend. You're
I'm old
beautiful.
now. That's what you get when you get older. Everything
Well,
goes slowly.
I'm getting
No,
older every minute, just wasting away to
I'm
nothing.
probably old enough to be your mother.
Oh,
Oh
how
dear.
I'm not gonna ask you how old you are. That
How old
you're
am I? I don't mind. I'm 65.
you are
So there we go.
literally just barely old enough to be my mother. Well, no. Yeah, you could be my
No,
mother.
there we
Yeah,
go. Okay.
I'm
I'm the mama
42.
bear,
Mama
and my
bear.
daughter's 45. My oldest is 45. My youngest is 38. So there we go. But
My
yeah,
oldest is
and
19 and my youngest is 16.
there we go. You'll catch up soon, one day.
I feel it closing in on me every minute.
Yeah.
I'm catching
You
up.
know, age is a matter of your mind, right? They say it's a number and it's a matter of your mind how old you are. So, but anyway, darlings, I'm going to let you go and I'll
Bye.
talk to you
Thank you for
again
calling
sometime in the
in.
near future.
All
And let's
right.
pray all together that we find this little boy safe and
Yes.
well somewhere.
Yes, we are all praying
Yeah,
that Sebastian is brought home.
that's
Um,
right.
poor Seth, he needs that. That man deserves
Absolutely.
that.
And Sebastian deserves it too. He's had a rough life already with those people, and you know, it's just one of those unfortunate things like Madeline Soto with this. You know, why these kids? Go do your crazy crap somewhere else. Sorry, I nearly swore. But anyway, all right, darlings, I'll let you go and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, thank you so much for calling in. We love you, Maurice. You have a blessed day, honey.
Bye,
Love you guys
Maurice.
too. Thank you for everything.
Hollis and Crystal said bye,
Bye.
Bye, Maurice. Bye, darling. Bye.
I love. Bye.
Oh, I just love that woman. She is so sweet. Um, bless her
Got a
heart.
lot of good
And
points.
yes, she did. Yes, she did. Which one do you wanna which one do you think was the most important, Hollis, that she brought up and said?
Oh my gosh, all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
I heard you agreeing a lot with what she said, Crystal. Is there anything
Well,
else you'd like to add? Go ahead.
no, I do agree with her. The mother lacks a lot of um, maternal instinct, and I'm just I guess for me the troubling part with her is I haven't heard her, and she's had these platforms to say I love you, Sebastian,
Correct.
and I haven't heard that.
Call from
That
Beautiful
bothers
Nessie
me.
Bowl. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hey, beautiful messy ball.
Hi,
Hi.
how are
Hey,
you?
I'm I'm doing great. How are you, beautiful?
I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
So, yeah. So, I know that one theory that people have is that maybe they got rid of Sebastian or mom got rid of Sebastian so that it would help Chris get face back. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand the logic in that because how would having a missing child help you get custody of another child back? Like, doesn't that show bad parenting
Yeah.
Yes.
when you already have a history of violence and domestic violence against the child that you're trying to get back, and now you're missing a child?
I agree with you on that, beautiful messy ball. I don't think this was anything premeditated. And I've said that from the start. If now by on the parents on the Proudfoot's parts, if
Right,
anything happened to Sebastian, I do not think it was premeditated. And I've said that from the very beginning.
right.
I would
Unless they're
say,
hiding him from Seth for some reason.
and I don't think they're doing that either.
I'm not sure. I
Really?
can't figure it out. It's such a mystery to me.
Well,
Like
I
part of me is
Regina,
hoping that that's my best case scenario, I guess.
I
Right.
want to ask
You know
me a
what I
beautiful
mean? Is
message.
that they're hiding him from Seth. And sorry, I cut you off, but the other thing is people, you guys were asking what we learned. Did we really learn anything that helps the case from Nina's interview? And one thing I think that we did learn that could help the case is that we did learn that Chris Proudfoot's family has no problem hiding a child and lying to law enforcement and to the parents, excuse me, of a child because they did it with faith.
See, I have to agree with that, except for I don't think Chris Proudfoot wanted Sebastian around at all.
Right. That's I don't I know. And that's the
And the
thing. That's
dynamic
where
between Katie and Chris Katie and Seth are completely different than Chris and Nina, if that makes
right.
sense.
I can only
Right.
imagine what it might have been like
Unless it's
for.
some kind of just weird power play.
But
I
what would
don't
they
know.
gain out of it?
I see
I
two.
don't know.
I see two parents
That's
with
the
each
thing.
a child, and I think maybe
Hollis said,
Faith
I see two parents, both each with a child, and she said, I
eh,
think maybe Faith. Go ahead,
couldn't
Hollis.
have. Maybe Faith was not enjoying her visits with her dad because of Sebastian living in the home.
Hollis said maybe Faith wasn't enjoying her visits with her dad because of Sebastian in the home. And Hollis, there is some kind of merit to that because there have been reports from Faith that Sebastian was being physically abused by Chris.
That's interesting.
Right. And I mean I get that to an extent, but how is him going missing gonna help? Like, yeah, he's out of the picture, but you still have a missing kid that's unaccounted for. And even if you're not culpable, you're culpable, or at least you're white, even if you were out of town, which I don't necessarily believe he was, your wife, who is going to be the stepmom to Faith, wasn't vigilant enough to keep track of her kid. Like, and I'm not trying to victim blame, but is it a safe environment to put Faith in even without Sebastian in terms of the parenting structure?
Right. And see, that's something that Nina was actually fighting the courts with. But apparently, I do believe Chris Proudfoot's family has money, and and I hate to say this, you guys, but that is a big thing in civil cases involving children. Is the family member that is the most financially fit is usually the one that ends up with the kid.
Right. And we've heard about the communication between Chris and Seth, but we haven't heard very much about the communication and the relationship. Well, we've heard a little bit between Katie and Seth. I mean, he did say they were co-parenting fairly well, but I mean, is he gonna? It's also everything that, in terms of the co-parenting relationship, I think needs to be taken with a grain of salt, because Seth isn't going to go out there and badmouth them right now, because he's wanting every bit of
Information.
cooperation
Yep.
and cooperation from every party involved. And he's said that from day one. Like, he will talk to every YouTuber he can, every media he can, every law enforcement he can, every search group he can, anyone who is going to help him help find Sebastian. He doesn't want to burn any bridges. You know what I mean?
Holy, yeah. Hold on just a second. Holy smokes, Jason from Kentucky. Um, be careful, my dear friend. He said, "Be right back." They're letting school out, getting 100-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, he said that a little while ago, actually.
Holy smokes! Holy
Yeah.
smokes!
Well, I just wonder if Faith coming to visit
Yeah, I told him to
Chris.
be careful.
I wonder if
A bunch of us
Faith's.
told him to be careful.
Hollis, yep.
I
Hollis is
wonder.
asking a question.
I wonder if.
How
I wonder if Faith's visits to Chris though were being affected from Sebastian, and Chris felt like Faith didn't want to come visit him because of Sebastian. That there was
okay?
contention
Can't
with
give me a run-on
between.
sentence. You can't give me a run-on sentence to ask her.
I just think that maybe Faith didn't enjoy having her visitations with Chris as much with Sebastian in the home. I'm wondering if that was the problem. And so
I
Chris
can.
felt like his own daughter didn't want to come see him on weekends because of Sebastian.
Should I just turn my TV up for a minute?
Yeah, turn the TV up for a minute. Yeah, do that. Turn it up loud enough for you to hear it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Hollis, repeat what you just said.
Oh, beautiful messy ball. I'm just wondering how much contention there was in the house that Faith didn't want to go there on the weekends because of Sebastian, and how much Faith might have been pulling back from visitations more so than like what you were saying earlier, that they would try to, that they were trying to get Faith in full custody of Faith. I think maybe it was more that Faith was probably pulling back from wanting her visitations.
I just turned her off by accident.
See,
You
I
can tell
think
her
the
what I think,
opposite,
Regina.
Hollis.
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying.
I just don't think that he wanted to be a father to anybody. I think he just wants to do him, and everything else gets in the way of that. I think people
No,
are
I got it.
disposable.
Okay. Wait, let me turn her back down so you don't get feedback. I mean, I don't know, and that's the thing. Was the TPO lifted? When was the TPO put in act?
All right, beautiful. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna drop the link in
So that I
chat.
can come on?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep. I'm gonna
Okay.
drop the link. And Kelly, you're welcome to come up too. And if you want to come up. So let
Are you
me
dropping
in.
it
Yeah,
in,
I'm gonna hang up on you. I love you, beautiful. I'll put the link
where are
in.
you dropping it?
I'll put it in the regular chat.
Okay.
Okay. All
Bye.
right. Bye. Okay. Let's do this right here.
I was wondering, I don't know how old Faith is. Does anybody in chat, is she 15? I mean, Sebastian's 15.
I
But do
just
we know
think
how old Faith is?
that
15.
saying that I think he would use Faith as an excuse to get rid of
Aren't
Sebastian.
aren't
But
Faith and Sebastian the same age? Sorry, go ahead, Crystal. I was just saying, aren't Faith and Sebastian the same age?
I don't know. I was just saying I can't see him really, Chris. I mean, he seems to not really have much of a relationship with children from what I've seen. I mean, that could be wrong, but I just see him using his daughter as an excuse to get rid of Sebastian, not
Oh.
necessarily because she has an issue, but it's a good excuse, for him
So,
to say, oh, well, my daughter doesn't feel comfortable.
so Faith is 7 years old.
Oh. I just don't know what to think anymore, really. It's
I
just
don't either.
so.
I would love to see the law enforcement interrogations of both parents, both the
Well,
stepdad and
you
the
can't
mother.
see those because you don't live in Tennessee. You have to be a resident of Tennessee to get any of those documents. Before I got into true crime, I didn't realize all the different statutes. I know this is going to sound like,
Hey, I know a resident of Tennessee. Maurice, girlfriend, we might need your help on this one.
Hello, beautiful messy ball.
Hello.
hello.
Hey, Papa Sal. Hey,
Hey,
beautiful.
Salvatore.
Hello, how you doing, ladies?
Hey, Pop
So what do
Sal.
you think, Sal?
Well, I think first of all, um, Nina,
Yep.
her whole thing
Hey,
was to
Yankee
show
Kyle. Welcome.
Hey,
Yuchi.
Regina.
Y'all,
Yeah.
I don't know if we have his link, but you guys, welcome Yankee Kyle. If y'all have his, if anyone has his link, one of my lovely mods could pull it up and put that in chat. Yankee Kyle is a creator too,
Hi,
and he is our
Sal.
good friend. He is our
Very
good
cool.
friend. We met over on Allegedly with Brittany's, my friend Brittany.
Hi, Kyle.
Go
Hi,
ahead, Papa
Hey,
beautiful.
Sal.
y'all.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's okay. Um, I believe that Nina's whole interview was to show everybody what type of a creep this guy really is, and how he made her suffer by constantly taking her to court. I mean, it didn't end. It didn't end. He just kept. He knew what was hurting her, and he kept doing it. And I don't think this guy liked kids to begin with. I really don't.
No, he never wanted Faith.
Right.
Well,
I
Right.
I
He
hate
agree.
just didn't
saying
want
that
Nina to
out
have her.
loud. I feel awful that I just said that out loud, but I mean, Nina said it, so
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Agreed.
right,
Allegedly. Right.
right.
I
I
Yeah.
mean, Nina did say it, so
I
well,
think Chris's claim to fame is being a control freak. He
right.
wants to be in control of every situation, any situation, all the time.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Me
And I
too.
think he's manipulative.
I mean,
Yeah.
Faith clearly has a mama who loves the hell out of her, and thank God for that. And I mean, I think the rest of the world has grown to love Faith, even though we don't know her. And I want, if Faith grows up to watch any of this, I hope that she knows that the world loves her,
Absolutely.
you know,
That's beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
and that there is a whole community out here that loves her.
Yes.
Hey, what's the thing about the glasses? Because I just got here.
Oh,
What?
so during the press conference, the uh, law enforcement said that they did find a pair of glasses. They did not confirm if it was his. And they also did not tell us where they found them.
Oh,
So, but a pair of glasses was found because we've been asking this whole time whether or not his glasses were in the house, whether he left with them, where his glasses were, because apparently he really needs his glasses to see.
you know, my son, thank God, was a healthy boy pretty much all his life. And if I heard something out of the unord, you know, out of unord, if I
Out
heard
of the
something from
ordinary.
his room, if I heard something from his room as a kid, and I have, before I went to bed every night that I was there, I checked on him, whether I opened the door to see if he was in his bed, or I always checked on my little boy. And,
Yes,
and,
Papa Sal.
and if you're going to tell me that she heard a thud and she didn't go to at least open the door to see if he's okay or if he's on the floor,
Right.
Bingo.
I mean,
Es-
come on. That
Especially,
Bingo.
when I heard that, I was like, look, everybody's different. Everybody raises their kids different. I get it. I understand. But if I heard, especially if my son was autistic, and like I said, thank God he was a healthy boy. I always checked on him before I went to bed.
Exactly. Exactly. Why wouldn't you?
especially when you have a kid that has fluid on his brain that could be
Kill him.
fatal if he gets hit in the head wrong.
Right.
I I check on my kids every night still.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know, I
47 years
Howard.
old and my dad still calls me every day on his way home from work.
mm,
Howard. just Sunky, our beloved friend Jason from Kentucky, just Sunky.
Hello, Jason.
um, he said, "I hope Chris doesn't have law enforcement in his pockets."
Mm. What does Yankee Kyle think? We haven't heard him yet. He's on the panel.
Well, he's 15 years old and he's got autism, so you never know.
Hi.
So if
Goodbye.
you never know.
Please.
You know, I'll tell you something.
What's with the Spanish
Hey,
linguistics? I hear
What?
linguistics.
hey, turn that.
Yeah, I have a hard time understanding English. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can barely speak English. Never mind, understand other.
Yo not habla
You,
español.
you know what else? You know what else? Let's just say somebody took him to hide him. I don't think, if that's true, and I don't believe that, if that's true, then I don't think they thought it was going to be as big of a story as it is. Right now, this is like a big, big story. And I think it came back to hit them in the face. If that's true. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
And
I
I,
mean,
do. I agree with you, Papa
he
John.
probably just thought that, I'm going to take him and that's it. But to have it all over the internet and the news, every news channel, I don't think they expected that, if
right.
that's what they did.
I got a new theory. You know me, my crazy theories. What if somebody had witnessed him and maybe Sebastian was telling him that he was having trouble at home and they decided to help him get out and they're stashing him.
I thought about that because
I
there's
do
also
too.
talk about him being in, maybe he's in a shelter. I feel like with this being as big as it is and Seth being as active as he is and clearly caring about him as much as he does, that and with all the information that's come out, somebody would know by now. Like, I feel like
I mean, it could be anybody. It could be a bus driver. It could be the kitchen person in the cafeteria. It could be a teacher. It could be anybody. And they've seen things, they've heard him, and maybe they feel like they're doing better by him and protecting
Right.
him.
That would be the best case scenario, in my opinion.
Amen. Yes, it would,
The
Hollis.
best case scenario.
And why wouldn't you team up with the
With that.
biological father? I
Well,
mean,
they
this
Yeah.
guy doesn't want to
Listen.
have nothing to do with the family. I mean, which, again, no matter what kind of differences you have, if you truly love this kid, you'd put everything aside and help find this kid together. Then, once he's found, or once we know what's going on, go back to being yourself. I mean, there are things that, look, there are sites that I've been on that I don't usually go on because of my own stupid reasons. I just don't care for the people. But because of what's going on here, I have to go and listen to whatever everybody's saying, just so I could. I don't even want to give you an example, but um, he was on what is his name? Seth was on a show that I don't listen to anymore, and I had to tune in to hear what he was saying. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
it's just the way it is. So if this guy wants to have nothing to do with Seth or vice versa, they have to come together now, especially now.
Let's
Let's find this kid.
Yeah. That no matter what our differences are, let's get together and help find this kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I tell you, the mother that she has to go with her husband he's going to work, and then she's saying that she's leaving. Why are you? Nancy Grace is like, why are you leaving?
Right. That's
Well, to be with Christopher. Shut the fuck up. Come on.
yeah. Your kid
Really?
is missing, and you're not looking, or you're not
Right.
even nearby where he can come find you.
Right.
Like
Make it make sense.
I can't.
None
I
of
don't think
Exactly.
anyone can.
none of it makes sense.
The
Hey,
love
Well, have
is
y'all watched?
busting.
did I mess myself up? Am I still on?
No, you're here.
You're still here, Papa. You're here still, Papa Sal.
I hope they got a search warrant for her Brinks van, for her
I
work van.
heard one night and I think it might have been like right around the time that that they did the Nancy interview, and I don't remember the exact time frame, but I had heard, and this may have been rumor, but I had heard that they towed that van, and everyone was like, "Why would they tow that van? It was in perfectly good shape." And I was like, "Well, if law enforcement would tow it if it was evidence."
As evidence in
And
my book.
everyone in that chat that I was in was like, "But it wouldn't be evidence. It's not her van, but it's in her custody." Her, like that's like
The,
saying I was driving this car full of drugs. You can't search it because it's not my car. You
right,
know what I mean? Like
exactly.
it's in your
Yeah.
custody. It's yours. Like
She had the keys to that vehicle to drive for
right.
them.
It's
That
her.
that was
It's
her
in her custody.
work vehicle.
They just need to get a warrant.
And that's
They
why I'm
don't
kind
need
of
it.
thinking,
Okay, I need to explain something to you guys. In this case, they actually would not need a warrant because the criteria is met with Sebastian's disappearance for exigent circumstances.
and I think those glasses were found in that van. That's why I think they said a few days ago.
I
But
If
think.
that's
I
just
was
me.
if
That's just
I was
me.
innocent,
I think
they
they
wouldn't need a search warrant.
right
They wouldn't
exactly,
need it.
Papa
Go
Sal.
check the van. Go check wherever you want. Go
Right.
ahead. Go.
I
But
Help me
think
Chris
they
find
would
him.
still, even though they don't need a warrant because of exigent circumstances, a lot of times they will get one
For
because
loose ends.
it holds up better in court.
but remember, Chris said that was none of their business.
Right.
Now, going back to what I said about the theory of somebody having him, and I can see if somebody took him thinking that they could give him a better life and protect him, and maybe they didn't think it was going to blow up so big, and they might be fearful to come forward too, like thinking they were doing the right thing because, I mean, technically it would be kidnapping regardless of their intentions. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I just, it's
Well,
just
it's like this. If someone out there, listen, I'm begging you, I'm imploring you. Seth Rogers loves his son. He needs to know where Sebastian is. So if anyone is out there and you have Sebastian, I'm begging you on behalf of Sebastian, I'm begging you on behalf of Seth, please bring Sebastian home. Things can be worked out. Things
Right.
can be worked out. Getting him home is the most important thing right now.
and we don't want any more loss of life in the search for him either,
Right.
because people are out there searching, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that would be
You
the
don't
best
even
case
have to come
scenario.
forward. You don't even have to come forward. Just point us to where he is. And there's plenty of ways to do that without saying, "Hi, I'm John Doe, and I'd like to tell you where he is and explain." No, just point us
Drop
to where
him
he is.
somewhere and make an anonymous call that he's there.
Right.
Right. Let us all get a good night's sleep and know that Sebastian's safe.
Write a note. Write a note in the dirt near searchers or something. I
Right.
mean, something. If someone out there has Sebastian, please take him home.
Take him
Yeah.
to a fire station. Take him to a library. Drop him off at the school. There's
I say
millions of
haul both of
places.
those parents back in and interrogate both of them separately for 28 hours nonstop. Interrogate both of those adults.
Well, the last time they came in, she came in her alone, and Chris didn't come in.
And I wonder if that was pre-planned on their part. Like he didn't come in for a reason because
It
he did it.
sounded like he may have came virtually, but that was unclear.
I
Because
just want to
J-
look at all
Just saying.
possibilities and all sides.
Jason said, "Well, I guess the neighbors would know." You know what? I want to know what the neighbors know
yeah,
personally.
Exactly. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting
JLR, if
because
you're watching, can you please go interview the neighbors?
the neighbors have not been very kind to outsiders.
they have not.
They
No,
don't want the big hubbub on their street,
because
probably.
Dolly was there, and they were not nice to Dolly.
Well, let me explain something to the neighbors of Sebastian. It's not going to look good on your neighborhood and the bottom line for your neighborhood if a child goes missing and is never heard from again out of your neighborhood. That's
Right,
not where I want to move with my kids.
right,
Just saying.
Right.
So, in my personal opinion, it's in the best interest of neighbors and everyone that has any stakes in their property or anything else for that matter to be as helpful as possible whenever it comes to finding Sebastian because helping others is helping oneself. I'm
Well, and
just
the fact
saying.
and the
Oh,
fact is too, this isn't about how the neighbors feel about people searching on their street. This is about a missing boy that still is
yeah,
out there. So, excuse me for saying I'm sorry for the neighbors that you have unwanted traffic. But right now, that's not important to me. What's important to me is that we find Sebastian, we turn over every rock, every log, every welcome mat. It,
right,
I would
that's how.
I would think that the investigators knocked on every door and wanted to search every house.
right.
I would think.
Well,
I
Yeah.
would think they would have.
start
I
with
would
the
think they would have
registered.
pulled all the ring door camera footage and all the security footage from every neighbor from every angle on that entire street
Right.
for
I
that
mean,
entire
Sure.
evening.
we
You know what
don't
I
know
mean?
that they haven't done that though.
Exactly.
Right.
Well,
And
hey, Sammy. Glad
Good
you finally
morning,
made it,
everyone.
beautiful.
What's up, Sammy?
Oh my goodness, I slept my morning away.
the other thing that, a lot of people have failed to talk about is the chances of that he could have been lured, and
Yes.
yes, his parent, yes, Chris and Katie and even Seth have said he didn't have internet access, but these kids are smart. They know how to get around, internet blockers on their things like a Switch and their cell phones. And these kids are smarter than their parents a lot of times in the internet and how to get around blockers and accessing the internet. And for all we know, he could have been chatting with somebody, and this could be why the Secret Service is involved, is to get into all of the devices and see whether he was talking to somebody and
Well,
whether he was lured out.
according to the family, his phone was in the kitchen, and they went through all of the devices. They went through his iPad. They went through his phone. They went
Right.
through all the stuff.
But he could have deleted stuff, and there's ways to do things on your phone where you do stuff that your parents don't see. That's
But the
why
cops,
they need to do a deep forensic dive on those devices, which they may, the Secret Service may be doing, or have done, and that takes more time to retrieve deleted information. And a lot of times when a predator lures somebody, they tell them, leave your devices. I'm going to get you a new phone. I'm going to get you a better gaming device. Just come the way you are. You don't need to
Hey,
bring anything. I'll get you everything you need.
I wanted to mention something. I got to thinking the other day, when I was a year or two younger than Sebastian, I ran away. And I would have, back then when I ran away, there was landline phones only. We didn't have any other tech.
Right.
I think computers were new to us. But back then, when I ran away, I would have given anything to have someone who was willing to take me in and protect me
Right.
because it was getting that bad. And when that moment came, and I had a friend that took me in, and the parents found out I had run away, and they did offer me to stay there and to, that I didn't have to go back to what I was running from. So when that happened for me, I did realize that my family would make their lives hell if I stayed. So I
Right.
willingly went back home because they couldn't hold me there. They couldn't hide me there. They had to tell the authorities. The authorities were looking for me in 13 different states because they
Mhm.
had no idea where I was trying to run to. But I did get to thinking about that and remembering that feeling of being so desperate to be okay and to
Right.
be cared for that if I knew that those people would have been able to help me, I would have stayed.
Right.
So that did cross my mind. And who knows, how much forethought this child had, even given him having the autism. It appears by everything I've seen that he was fairly high functioning. I don't know. There's just so many possibilities. But I did want to mention that I do remember feeling like if I had a family or people that were willing to take me in and protect me and not hurt me anymore, I would have gladly taken it, even if it meant I had to just basically disappear. I would have took it if I
Right.
knew that there wasn't a way my family would get to these people.
Right.
So I have to say that.
I I have one thing to add to that. Um, I have different scenarios with different amounts in my mind of what the real possibility of it being the actual scenario could be, and I realize that now I'm going to have to split up, and I'm probably going to have to give it 60% to uh, something happening within the home with the mother while she was alone with him. I I can't rule that out, and I have to give a little bit to the fact that Sebastian might have gotten so upset over everything, and he might have just walked away. But there's another possibility that I haven't heard anyone talk about, so I thought I would bring it up real quick and get your guys' take on it. Y'all know the little boy that went missing that was like 4 years old, and they found him in the woods. He had been brutalized and killed with a rock. Something else we have to take into account. What about the other kids in the neighborhood? What about the children that live around Sebastian? We don't know any of them. And I hate to say this, but you guys, it's usually right there around home, either what causes them to go missing or within a 1 mile radius of where they are from. Whatever happens to them because of someone else living within that vicinity. If Sebastian did leave that house on his own, do y'all think it is possible that someone, a neighbor or a neighbor's kid that maybe a bully or something like that, do y'all think it's possible that they seen Sebastian and know where he is or did something to him? Do y'all think that's possible?
Well,
think
social media can be can
Yes.
be a dark place,
Anything.
especially for a 15-year-old.
I
I
think
think very easily that there could be bullies in the neighborhood who tricked him to come outside his window, and then nefarious things could have gone on. That's a possibility as well.
Why wouldn't he
Just
put
never
on his
know.
shoes? Why
But I
wouldn't
think
he
the
put
mother
on
would have
his
heard more
shoes?
ruckus.
Huh?
I agree. It's a
I think
possibility.
anything is possible, but I think that if it was something like a neighborhood kid, I think he would have been found by now. I don't think kids' executive functioning is high enough that they would have been able to hide him and dispose of him well enough that and that they don't have the transportation that they would have been able to get him that far that he wouldn't have been found by now with the amount of searching that's going on.
Have you ever heard the story about the kid that survived the bone breaker?
I don't think so.
This little boy was taken out of his home by a 19-year-old kid that lived just down the road from him and brutalized, every bone in his body broken. And it turns out that this boy had done it to another kid in the last neighborhood that he lived in. This was the second kid, but the second little boy survived it. I can't remember his name right off the bat, but he was literally taken from his own home. He was like, I think he was like 11, 12, maybe even as old as 14. I don't remember his exact age. I'll have to look it back up. But he was taken from his home by an older teen boy that lived in his neighborhood, and every bone in his leg broken minutes from death whenever he finally escaped. Crawled down the stairs of the house to escape and everything. And that little boy was just right there in his own on his own neighborhood, and nobody even realized it. And they were looking everywhere for him. So I can't rule out the fact that you guys, it might be someone right there in his own. And
It
Yeah,
very
you
but
well could be.
how would he get into the house? She's saying the doors and windows were locked. How did anybody, whether it be an older kid or a man, how did
well,
he
if they
get
knocked on the
into the house?
window and got
What's that?
what if they just did something as simple as knocked on the window and lured Sebastian outside? Maybe there is no trail. And y'all guys, I don't trust the Proudfoots, okay,
And
whatsoever.
the
They've already
door,
proven to be liars.
the
But
door.
I
Sorry,
have to
go.
think about this. I have to think about this. What if a neighborhood kid that was a bully or wanted to hurt Sebastian had been, maybe that's the reason there's no internet trail. Um, what if he just simply, what if somebody, or he or she, knocked on the window and was like, motion Sebastian to come outside. You know what I'm saying? And then if mom never went and actually looked in Sebastian's room after she heard the noise, maybe the noise was Sebastian getting stuff together to go meet with his friend. I mean, who knows?
But
But I
Regina,
think
he'd take his glasses and his shoes.
Right, the shoes. Why wouldn't he
He
put
would
on his
definitely grab his
shoes?
glasses and his shoes.
But remember, we're only going based on mom's account of the shoes. We don't
hmm
really know for sure that there was only one pair of shoes that that boy owned in that house.
That's true. Law enforcement hasn't told us anything.
I don't know, guys. I had like one pair of shoes for like 5 years. And then I was like, I only have one pair of shoes. How the hell did this happen? And now I have like 50 pairs of shoes that I don't wear because I still wear the old used Converse shoes that I've been wearing for like 10 years because they're the most comfortable shoes I own.
And the other thing is, going back to what Papa Sal said is, how would somebody get in the house? Their house had keypad locks. So he or somebody could have given out the key, the passcode for the door to somebody that he trusted. Like when I was a kid, we kept our garage door unlocked because we had a keypad for the inside the house garage door, and then we had a keypad for the garage door. And we would give that out to our friends so that they could just get in the garage and come in our house. And how do we know that he didn't give the door lock passcode to somebody, to one of his friends, or someone he thought was a friend?
Right. Hey, Sarah. Good to see you, beautiful. There's Papa Sal.
I'm
I knew
telling you.
you'd be back, handsome.
I'm telling you guys, if I had two brains, one would die of loneliness, okay? I am such an idiot.
Don't be
No, you're
lonely. You
not.
got us, Papa Sal.
Papa
Uh,
Sal, don't
yeah.
make me get you for talking bad about my friends. Don't make me get you. I'll do it. I'm vicious. Rawr.
Rawr.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Hey, I tell you what. Now, innocent or not, I promise y'all, if there is any guilty knowledge from Chris Proudfoot or Katie Proudfoot, y'all give me 15 minutes alone with a thumbtack with them, and they will. We'll know where Sebastian is if they do. I promise you that. A
And
thumbtack.
the other thing is, why hasn't Chris still taken a lie detector test?
Right,
Right?
right.
And I've heard mixed reports on whether or not Katie really passed her test or not.
You know, if I had 15 minutes alone with him, or more than that, because it would have to be more than that, but I would say nothing to them. I would just stare at them because I think my silence and my lack of questions would make them spill the beans.
At this point, with him being everyone being so suspicious of him, if it were me, I'd just take the polygraph test.
I
Right.
think a
And get it
I
baseball
mean,
over
bat.
with.
clear my name and move on.
I
Let's
think
find
a,
Yeah,
Exactly.
a
Because if
Nancy
he
baseball bat
Grace.
to the legs would do him in.
if he doesn't get attention, he wants to be in control. So he's
Right.
going to lash out to get the attention.
Right.
Right. Well, you guys, the two people that have told us what we absolutely know now, certain points to be lies, are Chris and Katie Proudfoot. We know Seth Rogers is being as honest, as open to find his son and rallying the troops. Everything that that man is supposed to be doing, he is doing. But Chris and Katie Proudfoot are doing this, that, the other, or the third, and they aren't even looking for Sebastian. Did y'all hear that report? What they said about that Grizzly Park where they supposedly were out of state trying to put flyers up everywhere. He could be anywhere looking for him. You know how many flyers were left in that park? From what I've come to understand and been told, 3, all within like a 50-foot radius of each other.
Well, going back to what Hollis said, I mean, what we do know is fact, according to Chris and Katie both, is she was the only one at home with him. She was the only person present with Sebastian when he went missing.
Same case with Letitia Staunch, and the same case with Jennifer Soto.
I remember those cases. Letitia Staunch. Oh, that girl. Just lost
She's evil.
her little mind.
She lost something, but I don't think it was her mind. I don't think she had a heart or a mind to begin with. I think that
I
woman is
know.
just
No, she was jealous of Gannon and how much Gannon loved his bio mom.
That lady made me sick.
Oh, I agree with you, Papa Sal. I agree with you. She made me want to vomit, bruh, in my mouth, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I do.
yeah.
Oh, brother. Oh.
But the but and you guys, I suspect now. But here's another thing I have to be fair about. Being a liar doesn't make you a killer. Being a thief doesn't make you a murderer. Uh, being a bad person and a liar doesn't make you a murderer until it does. Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah.
but it makes you suspicious
Yes, it
Right.
does.
It makes you point
when
fingers.
you're
You know
lying
what I mean?
about. Go ahead, Sal.
No, that's how these cases are solved by what people say, and you can't help but point the finger at these people. It looks bad. They look bad, no matter how you want to stretch it. They look bad.
And they made themselves look that way.
Right. Right.
I mean, every single one of us wants for them not to be killers. Like,
Of
more
course.
than anything, we want Sebastian to be out there alive somewhere.
Amen. Exactly. We
Yes, we do.
want Sebastian brought home.
To his
I
dad, not to Katie or Christopher.
Yeah, no, because whatever happened to Sebastian that made him want to leave, or whatever it was with the circumstance why Sebastian is no longer in that house if he is alive, no matter what the reason is, he don't need to be in that situation anymore, period. End of story. I'm
Well, he was
sorry.
supposed to be with his father in 2 months.
Right.
Hmm.
So when you say bring Sebastian home, we want him, or I want him to be brought back to his father.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
Okay.
100%.
because I promise you, if Seth would have heard a thud in Sebastian's bedroom whenever Sebastian was there, you know what Seth would have done?
He would have gone running in there.
He would
Son,
have
are you
went in there and checked on
okay?
his. Yep,
What
yep,
happened?
yep.
You didn't hit your head, did you?
Yeah.
And if you'll notice something else in Katie Prophet's interviews, whenever she says that, she never got a response from Sebastian. She never repeated a response from Sebastian. She never gave any notice that Sebastian even acknowledged her.
I think Seth
I find that alarming.
I think Seth would have checked on him every night before he went to bed, regardless. He just
Actually,
strikes me as that type of dad that
Right.
cares and worries. And like I said, there wasn't a night that went by. I always opened my son's door just to see if he was okay, or just to see if he was covered, if it was cold, or to make sure he was comfortable. That was that's just me.
actually, Regina, she did say that he said he did respond to her and said, "Yes, ma'am," when she told him to go to bed. That
That
was
was
her
the first
response.
interview.
Because
Right.
I get a feeling she says that because that's all she ever says.
Right.
Right. I just want to make.
Okay, so I got that wrong. That's
I'm not
in the
trying to make
Nancy
you look
Grace.
wrong. I just
No,
want to
no,
be.
no. I'm sorry. I know you're in the first interview she did, but in the second interview with Nancy Grace, she just said, "Well, I don't care what you're doing in there. Go to bed." Was that it? Or no, it was in the first interview. I don't know. She said so many different things between two interviews. I get them confused. I'm sorry.
I know. Hey, thanks, Sammy.
It's hard.
Thanks for
It's
helping me
hard.
out.
It's hard keeping up with all their lies, you guys. It really is, and
And
their
that's
I
different
the
think it's
stories.
problem.
weird that she said that he said yes, ma'am. Who says yes, ma'am to their mom? Like, who calls their mom ma'am?
I
My
know
son
that.
does.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
in the
Yes, ma'am.
South,
I know
they
that.
do.
Yes, ma'am kind of rubs me the wrong way, too. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes.
I
My
then
think
Yeah.
I think that's a culture thing though, from where you're brought
no.
up. Because
Let me
Well,
elaborate on that.
I was brought up
Me-
polite, too, but
My
I,
son tells me yes, ma'am, when he's in trouble for something. My daughter does too. Whenever I'm scolding them, giving them a stern talking to over something they did, that's how they were. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, well, my
Think about
son
it.
said yes, ma'am, to me. So that's because I'm a guy. But
Any other time I'm
gotta
mama
throw a little humor in
or
here, you know?
mom, my 19-year-old son still calls me mommy. Y'all guys, oh, it gets me every time he does too.
My son is 34 years old. He kisses me when he comes home from work, and he kisses me goodnight before he goes to bed. My son is 34 years old. And that's not putting fear in him that he's got to do that. This is
Right,
just
he does
No,
it
something he
because he
does
right.
loves.
he does it on his own. And it makes me want to cry when
Aw, Papa Sal, we love you, Papa Sal.
sorry.
And your son clearly loves you too. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, Salvatore. You did good.
Good boy.
And it's so sad too, you guys, to hear all these stories about how they like. How could you say that you didn't want pictures of your child because they looked dumb in them?
Yeah, how come there was no pictures of this prick with this kid? How long has he lived with him? How long has he lived with his mother? 15
Long
years?
enough.
And
Y'all know how many.
you don't have one picture, Chris. You don't have one picture with you and him. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Birthdays, Christmas, whatever. Going fishing, getting popcorn like this. You don't have one picture?
My question is if he hates kids so much, why would he go into an already, you know, made family? Why would you want a stepchild if you actually hate children?
Right.
Wouldn't that be a
Yeah.
deterrent from having a relationship with somebody if you don't like children? I'm
Well,
just saying.
not whenever mom is fully on board with whatever punishment you want to dish out to her autistic son. Remember how whenever you get parenting, both of you are on the same level, it's bliss? That's what Chris said.
Chris is such, he's, listen, remember, remember,
Right.
Seth is doing everything in his power to find his son. Let's find this kid.
Right.
And I give him all the kudos for
Yep.
it.
Yep. He's even taking time off from work.
Uh,
With with uh
Sarah,
with
And he said he's not going back to work until he finds
guys,
his son.
I'm
right.
so
well,
glad. I'm
Chancing
so
he's chancing losing his job to
I'm
find his son. God
I'm
bless.
so yes,
amen
Papa
to that.
Sal. Amen to that. Sarah, thank you very much for bringing that back up.
Tip
Another
of the
point
cap to the
that's
guy.
been made, you guys. Sarah's suspicion just said, "How would you think he might be in the kitchen making breakfast after walking through the kitchen?" Because as we now know, she literally had to walk, leaving her bedroom in the morning. She had to go through the kitchen to get Sebastian's bedroom. So that's a very good point, Sarah. Why would mom go check the kitchen to see if he might be making breakfast after she just walked through the kitchen and knew he wasn't there?
Because
You
mom's a
said that
liar.
the other day too, Regina.
Mom's
In
a
Yep.
liar.
like in our Discord.
Yep.
Yep. The devil has many faces. Okay? And in this case, it's the mother and Christopher. I'm sorry. That's
The
how I
devil
feel.
has the devil has many faces, and he has a second face for every face he has because he's two-faced.
You just confused me.
Yeah, right. I
You
know,
just
right?
fucking confused me, Regina.
I think it's the whole concept of a mother getting rid of their child, in my opinion, as my theory goes. That's hard to calibrate into my own brain.
Of course.
because that's like the hardest thing I could ever imagine. I mean, I just can't.
Yeah, it's despicable. And if they do come back with them finding out that they did something to this kid, then they should get the harshest fucking punishment there is.
100% agree. Because you don't beat a kid who has autism. Nobody should. And for goodness
Right? You're gonna tell
sakes.
me this guy only hit him
You don't
once with
beat
a?
kids,
You're gonna
period.
this
You
guy
don't
only
need to
hit him
beat
one
Absolutely
kids.
right,
time with a
Mikey.
belt? I don't think so. I
You
don't think
guys,
so.
I
There's
if
agree
no
y'all
with
can,
you,
reason
Sal.
to beat a kid.
I agree with
None.
if if you guys can see the screen right now, look at this precious little boy. Look at him, you guys. His smile
Breaks your heart.
is worth more than money could ever be worth. I mean, just look at him. All of y'all out there, listen, screenshot these pictures. Here, I'll take the comment off of it so y'all can do it if y'all would. Screenshot this pictures, okay? Ta Copy this picture and post it everywhere you can. Your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok. It don't matter. You guys share Sebastian's face because if there is any chance he is alive, and God be willing, then there's a chance we can bring him home if his face is out there and everyone knows this little boy's beautiful smile. We gotta make Sebastian go more than viral. We have to put him everywhere. Everywhere someone's gonna walk by, everywhere someone's gonna see, anywhere you can post to a community board, a social media account, share this little boy's picture and the phone number. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers, please call the tip line. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 615-451-3838. Help us bring Sebastian home to Seth. Go ahead, you guys. I'm sorry. I had to get that out there.
Well, all I have is YouTube. I don't have any of those other sites.
Well, I have a Discord app which is blowing up like an insane asylum.
Like an insane asylum, he says.
Girl. Oh,
That's
Regina,
funny.
you speak the truth, kid. Girl.
Very sad.
I
Very.
appreciate you saying that, Kyle, but I only speak from a place of my own convictions as a mother, as a parent.
Absolutely right. You
I
should.
threw it up on Twitter.
Yeah, as a parent.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on my Twitter also.
As a
I
parent.
will later. I'm multitasking right now.
I can't do
I
that either.
I cannot get to Tennessee right at this moment. As everyone knows, I had my car. I had some repairs I had to make, and it put me a little out of pocket this month. But what I do have is I have a printer at home. I have a very nice printer, and I am going to print up flyers for anyone that is interested. Can one of my mods, my lovely, beautiful, wonderful mods, put my email address up? Um, if you will, especially if you're living in I don't care where you're living, if you will send me an address to send you an envelope of flyers, I will send you flyers to put up for Sebastian in your area. We need to get his picture everywhere because he could be anywhere at this point if he is alive.
That's the
And
other thing. Like, could he have been sold?
I think anything's a possibility at this point. But would he have been sold? Like, oh man, that would be some next level evil right there. You know it?
Well, I wouldn't put anything past these two,
Yeah, that would.
unfortunately.
That never even entered my head. Yep.
I just want to say it's kind of really bothering me how many children are going missing in Tennessee that are not been found. That's
There's
starting to
40 missing
really,
right
really
now.
bother me.
I know. I remember hearing about kids on the milk cartons when I was young. I remember when that first started. Kids missing. Have you seen me? Or
Yeah.
I remember they would say at the end of the night, "It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?"
I
10
remember that, Papa
p.m.
Sal.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I
Yep.
remember that first day. Do you know where your children are?
Every single night.
Yep.
And I'm like you, Papa Sal. Like, you guys, I wake up during the middle of the night. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping and I'm up late at night. Sometimes I go to bed um early. But it's like I put a one just let's do a quick active poll. Um because I still, you guys, I'm sorry. Y'all know I haven't been on YouTube very long. I still have not figured out how to set up a poll on YouTube. Um but put a one in chat for every one of the parents, all of you that have children. Um put a one in chat if every time you end up waking up or you're up, you check on your kids. Like if you just open the door and peek in to make sure they're okay, put a one in chat.
Well, I
I
wouldn't.
know I do.
I wouldn't do it every night, but there were times, like I said, I
I would.
always checked on my son all the time.
I would. My kids are, I still bug them every night to make sure they're home and safe. Every night. And they don't need me to. So I
But
still do it because
but
I love them.
sure.
But I can't vote in because I can't see the chat. So my vote is one. It's basically what I'm saying.
I
I'm
don't
Yeah.
have
muting.
kids, so oh,
My vote is 1-2.
Again, my email is on the screen right now. It's Regina, all lowercase letters, REGINA underscore IS is Regina underscore is underscore queen at yahoo.com. That's REGINA underscore IS underscore QUEEN at yahoo.com. And if you will send me an email with your address, you don't even have to tell me your name. You don't even have to send me your name. If you will send me your email, I mean your address in an email, I will ship you um 30 or 40 flyers to put out for Sebastian because I can print them. So I'm willing to send anyone anywhere willing to put flyers out for Sebastian. Flyers to put out for Sebastian. As long as I have your word that you'll put them up, I will send them to you. We love you too, Kyle.
If you
Thank you,
end up
Yankee
doing
Kyle.
that, Regina, you could have people send a photo of them putting up the posters that you sent to them. I think that would be, you know, nice.
Is Shar here?
I sent Char, you have a link in Discord in your DMs. Yeah, she's here.
Love you, Char.
Tennessee is a hot spot for missing people. Um, and not only that, but look at what's going on with I mean, you guys, look at what's going on with Riley Strain. That case, whoo, that case right there too. Let me tell you what, I got questions. Sounds like his family has questions too. But
I think every logical American has questions about that.
yeah, I think all of us have questions about that. And I think that every one of us has a reason for our speculations and what we think about this case. And I think that it's so amazing that we can all come together and discuss our opinions and what we think and open up doors to new possibilities that maybe no one else has thought of. It's like a collective of minds that come together, you guys, and I'm so grateful to be a part of y'all because I know why y'all are here and I know why y'all are doing this. It's for the same reason that I am. It's because you have love and because you care about the victims and y'all care about these children. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for each and every one of y'all, if I have not told y'all that already. And I'm so grateful that you are here. Thank you.
No, we're
Thank you.
grateful that
Thank
you
you for
that
having.
you put something like this out. I know we're grateful that you even put something like this out. So comes
I am
back
I'm
10 times.
grateful for the fact that we can agree and we can disagree and we can have a conversation and understand where the other person's coming from. So I enjoy the fact that we are debating at times, but it's good for us to all have different opinions and not just be tunnel vision. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you.
And we can agree to disagree on things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All I know at this point, though, is I think that a lot of us have heartbreak for Seth. I
Seth
think
and
all of us do.
Sebastian.
Of
I
course.
have heartbreak for Sebastian. And I feel bad for his loved ones. Don't get me wrong. But right now, I think I'm just like so focused on that poor child that we don't know if he's hungry. We don't know if he's warm, you know, or
Yeah.
if he's safe or scared.
Yeah.
And that's where my concern is. But I
Yeah.
do hope that they get answers.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, hello, Yvette. Nice to see you. Um,
Dang it.
it's only Rob. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be a part of the actual active search for Sebastian. I want to go over there. I want to be boots on the ground. I want to help look for Sebastian. Um, if I get a call from Seth, I reach out to Seth, and I'm hoping he gets back in touch with me because I want to help him find his son. Um, as the mother of an autistic child, as a mother, like there's a picture of my son, you guys, and I'm not gonna show it. I could, but I'm not going to. There's a picture of my son. My son wears glasses, and they're the same style as Sebastian's. And I have a picture of my son, and he's smiling. And like the first time I ever seen a picture of Sebastian, I seen my son. You know what I mean? Like I can see him,
Oh,
and it
I
just
can too. I've seen the picture.
Yeah, they
It's
look so
uncanny.
like.
Uncanny.
like,
The
and
similarities.
it tears my heart out because I can't imagine what Seth is going through. I can't say anything about what Katie and Chris are going through because I'm sorry, I just don't trust them after all the lies. But to sit and think, I know how much I love my son. And I know what Seth means whenever he says that Sebastian is just unique. He's different. But it makes him all that much more lovable, I'm telling you guys. And I want so bad for Seth to have his son back. I want so bad for him to have his son back.
So do I.
So
Such a it's a
anything I
gut
can do.
it's a gut wrenching feeling. And I tell you, if I was in better health, because my health isn't so good right now, I would take a ride down to Tennessee. I would take a ride,
I would go
but I don't
also.
trust myself.
I would love to start going and helping with these searches and just do that because it's important. And that's how people are going to be found. You got to fight back, against the sick. the child trafficking. We all need to get out there, not just the parents of these missing children, all of us, because it happens every day, everywhere.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's time we start fighting back.
Through all levels of society,
Yep.
all levels, from the richest of the rich to the poorest of the poor.
We need to take our children back and tell them, no, you're not doing this anymore. You're not going to do this. This children, all these missing children, is sickening. We are in a place that we should be doing so much better than what we're doing as people. Not just, not us specifically, but everyone in general. Our society is allowing all these missing children to keep going missing, and we're just getting we're not getting the answers. People aren't getting the answers to why these things are happening, and people aren't being made of examples. We
Part of
need to say it's done.
part of its society has become too complacent, and they don't care about anyone that's not their own.
I
A
agree with
good
that,
part of
beautiful.
the population. I mean, just think about when we were kids, like nothing happened without our parents finding out about it. Like I grew up a free range kid, and I was allowed to do a lot and go a lot of places on my own, but my parents knew what I was up to all the time
Yeah.
Hmm.
because the neighborhood and the town was always looking out for each other.
Yep.
It takes a village. Remember that phrase?
Hmm.
It takes a village. Blondie said, "Being adults means having difficult. Uh, being adults means having hard discussions and listening to all sides." That is absolutely true, Blondie.
True.
100%.
Love that.
Beautiful, Blondie.
100%.
Oh shit, man! Oh man.
I don't know.
I do want to mention something on here, and especially in case there are young people listening who are teenagers. Um, there is advocacy out there for you, which means adults that can help you learn how to live out in society, have as much of a normal life as possible for you. But running away is never the answer. And I understand very, very, very clearly, the positions you may be feeling that you're in, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But trust me, there is. Reach out to someone before you run away. Please reach out to someone to get advocacy, to help you to learn how to function in society on your own, how to get work, maybe even specialized training. But these things are available to young adults, people who are aging out of a foster system or out of, they're about Sebastian's age, and it's time to start learning how you can function in society on your own. And there's what they call advocates for that. So before you actually take that step to run away, try to look into those sort of things, like with adults at school, or maybe even ask a family friend, if they know how you can reach out to do that. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Running away is not the answer. And people in your vicinity can only help you so much. There are people out there that have these jobs for a reason, to help youngsters learn how to function in society. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, if you are a teenager and you're considering running away, there's something out there for you to help you learn how to do this right and how to have your own life, and it's called having advocacy.
Your
I agree.
children
So,
too.
I just want to spread that message out because we care. I mean, it matters, and you need to know there is light at the end of the tunnel.
And
Yep.
you matter. And your churches too can often help. And if they can't personally help, they can help you find help, usually.
Absolutely, the journey to justice. It takes an army and a community to come together. And that's the whole thing. And it's like you guys were saying a while ago, you guys, we just got to really rise up as parents and put our foots down. And we got to say enough is enough. And we have to start advocating for our children. Because whenever we let society advocate for our children, and whenever we let other people advocate for our children that do not have their best interest at heart, we let them raise our children. And when we let other people raise our children and we're not a voice in our children's lives, they don't know us. They don't know what they need to know from us to be able to be functioning, productive adults in society. They're learning what everyone else wants to teach them. So I agree, we need to rise up together for the betterment of our children. But at the same time, it starts with us as parents.
Yeah.
The
I remember when I was growing up.
simplest solution to knowing your child is safe, loved, and protected is to be the one that keeps your child safe, love them, and protected. Go ahead, Papa Sal. Sorry about that.
No, no, just gonna say it was such a different world when I was a kid. You know, we grew up in the streets and we never worried about things like this. We were such aware of things. And I don't know if that was from growing up in the streets or not, but when I had my son, all the more I would talk to him all the time. Listen to me. Listen to me. Before you go out and ride that bike, you see somebody in a van or a car that says to you, "Come here, little boy, I want to show you some toys." You tell them, "My daddy will buy me toys."
Right.
Never, ever go with a stranger, please. And if you're facing one way and the car is facing another way, turn around. You have less of a chance of him or the car turning around. Just leave. Get out of there. You know? I can't even think about all the things I've told him growing up. I must have been a pain in the ass. But I worried about him, you know.
Well, all of our parents, well, not all, but a lot of our parents, were pains in the ass, but it made us who we are in a lot of cases. And
Well, I know when I was a kid, I was the kid that when I heard the ice cream truck running, was coming, I heard those little bells, I went running the opposite way. And I thought all the kids that ran toward the ice cream truck were the whack jobs because I was convinced that that was the big evil because my parents were always like, don't talk to the ice cream man. Whatever you do, don't talk to the ice cream man.
Well, I
So I
remember
always thought,
Mr. Sorry, sir. I remember Mr. Softy coming on our neighborhood, and he would be on the corner, and his theme would be playing. Dan, 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 dan. He came on our neighborhood, so I guess everybody felt safe going to Mr. Softy. And like I said, those were different times, you know. I mean, we played. Talk about being crazy kids. When we played all over tag, we got on subways. Okay. When you were it in tag, you were it. Okay. So it was a different time, you know.
Me too, Blondie. Me too. I can't help but question. Okay, let me tell y'all, and I know I see a lot of other people. This is the main hang up for them too. My son's autistic. My son can't stand different textures. Like he can't stand going from one extreme stimulation to another, if that makes sense. Like
I'm like
my
that.
son right?
Makes
Like he
complete
doesn't,
sense.
right? To the point that my son won't leave his bedroom without his shoes on. Like
You
he
said
won't
without his
even,
shoes on?
Yeah.
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 Like, and he sleeps in socks and he does not care. Like mm-mm. And his clothing, he can't do tags. If there's
I
a
can't do
label
tags
tag,
either.
oh man,
I'm
you might as well forget it. You might as well forget it if there's a tag. Or
All my tags are cut out.
if it's not cotton, like he pretty much just won't even wear it. Just hang it up. It's not going to happen because autistic children, especially I'm going to say my son because I know him firsthand, and there are different levels of different things
right.
with autism. But my son personally is so particular. He wears certain brands of clothes and he'll keep those on all day. But like when he was little, I didn't realize how much it affected him to have to wear like tags and different materials and stuff. And he would strip down to nothing but his underwear.
I
It,
I get
it,
it. I have days personally where I'm like I can't be comfortable in anything that I put on except for like a very few select things. And I, having worked with kids with autism, had kids that would just come, it's like, you gotta keep your clothes on, kid. And we had a kid in our school who all year round would wear nothing but shorts, a tank top, and sandals, the same sandals. What you couldn't even put a coat on him, even in a snowstorm. And everyone was like, "That's so bad! Like, how can his parents let him go out? Like, try fighting a 200-pound boy to put clothes on him. Like,
I have some breaking news.
okay,
Um,
okay.
there's an active shooter in Lewis.
oh great." In
Wait, where?
Louis,
Right
where
next to me.
In
Right where the
Lewiston again?
yeah.
Again?
Who's saying Louisville, Kentucky? Where Louisville?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Lewistown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
how far is that from me?
Well, that's the next state over. If you
Well, I knew Pennsylvania's one state over, but
We're
Okay,
not
Pennsylvania.
even going to tell you, beautiful messy ball.
listen. It's in
Yeah, no, you've
Lewiston,
already been on
Maine.
the same street as one murderer this month, beautiful. That's enough, or this past month,
Oh my
beautiful. That's
god.
enough in the last 30 days. Go ahead, Crystal. Sorry.
Yes, I
Um,
agree.
You know I'd be heading there.
no, it's Lewiston, Maine.
Oh, Maine. Yeah, I'm not going to Maine.
Hold on. I'm getting like a bunch of texts. So hold on. My
And you can
daughter
have
told
makeup
me
on.
not to be stupid. She told me to stay home. She's like, please don't go out there and be stupid again.
But she's right.
She's
She's
right. She's
absolutely
right.
right.
I love Papa
So,
Sal. Like, that's one state over from you. And I'm like, I don't know where Pennsylvania is.
yeah, I didn't mean it to sound like that.
I
I
need to
know.
address someone real quick. Lat, I unblocked you. Like, I don't know why it's unblocked. Midwest, if you wouldn't mind, um, checking on that real quick or seeing, I don't understand how you're still blocked, Lat. I unblocked you.
Who's that? Who you blocked?
Lat Harris. Lat.
Oh, what? Oh, okay.
You call him Walat.
Yeah, yeah. I used to call him Walt. Now,
I
now
call
it's
it
Walt.
Wallach.
I'm all fucked up.
So, yeah, let's see. I think we need to cover, you guys, I'm gonna end this stream and set up another one. We are gonna cover the shooting going on because this is people's safety that is emergency needing attention because people need to be aware of what's going on.
I'm trying
Um
to confirm. So hold on, Regina.
okay.
Don't jump to
I don't see
conclusions.
Okay.
anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to get Hold on. You do your thing though.
I'm Googling. I'm Googling
You're blueballing?
something like that. You know what I did?
Not that
I
I'm
was
one to
saying
talk
it.
about messing up words.
I was typing in the chat. In Google as I was saying it. So instead of typing active shooter, I typed in Googling
To,
in Google. I typed Google into Google. That's funny, huh? Yeah. Um.
I'm not making fun. Just so people in the chat know, I'm not making fun of Regina.
Well, I do every chance I get.
I am a little bit, but it's all in good fun. It's all because it's something that I would do.
I'm not seeing anything on an active shooter.
who had the breaking news? Who just said breaking news?
Is that what is
Uh,
true?
hold
Is
on a
that
second. I might have just found something.
Yeah, that was me that said there's breaking news. Hold on. I'm looking.
she's looking, she's looking.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
Give her a minute.
Yeah.
Breaking news takes time to confirm.
Okay, no, that's not it. That's an old one.
Hey, did the
Yeah,
weather slow down a little bit? Or any more tornadoes? Anybody hear anything?
I don't
I'm not
know.
in tornado land, so I don't know.
I'm
Here
not
in central
seeing.
Arkansas, the rain has stopped, the sun is out, but the winds are out of this world. And I've got some pretty tall, old trees, so I'm worried about the straight line winds. But that's the most I've got to worry about at the moment in central Arkansas.
Well, you be safe, be careful.
Oh, you guys, Miss
Oh, yeah.
Brazzy. Oh, thank you so much. Everybody put a round of applause in the chat for Miss Brazzy. Thank you so much, Miss Brazzy. And if you were gifted a membership, welcome, welcome to the Crime Chatters team. We appreciate you being here. We're glad you found us. And thank you. Miss
Yeah.
Brazzy, you are amazing. You are so amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Brazzy.
Yeah, we love you.
Oh, you guys are too kind and too
We're
generous. Thank you so
full of
much.
love over here.
Thank you for joining us, Sarah. We enjoyed having you here today, hun. Um, but yeah, back to Sebastian Rogers until we find anything else out. Because I'm not finding anything on an active shooter. Um, and I'm not seeing anything with the helicopter circling anywhere in Maine either.
Well, we'll revisit this. So
Yeah, we'll revisit this.
I'm gonna
Yep,
still look. I'll let you know if I know anything. But if you end the stream, I can always get a hold of you anyway.
right. Oh, Miss Brazzy, let us know later how your appointment went and everything. I hope it's a good appointment. I hope it's an appointment to go cash in lottery checks. What I hope.
Man, that Mega Millions last week was sold like a mile from my house.
Yeah, in Jersey. Yep, I
It
heard.
was literally like a mile from my house.
Wow.
Wow.
The
I
next
know
time.
someday I'm gonna win the lottery, but I got to start playing it first.
Yeah, that
You
always helps.
can't win. You can't win if you don't play.
Yeah, I can because all my friends play and they tell me that they're going to share it with me.
That's what you think.
There you go.
Oh, y'all. So, yes, the Journey to Justice said, Elijah Vu here in Wisconsin is a good sample of what it takes to bring people together. Family took charge right away, flowers and meeting places. Everyone had a job. Keep sharing it, proven to work. Yep. Amen.
That's another crazy one.
Lock your shed or you might be dead. Lat. Oh my goodness. Your
My
name.
goodness. Oh, Lord have mercy.
The man makes me want to fall out of my chair laughing sometimes, and other times I don't know whether or not to string him up. But we
The
love you,
beauty.
Lat.
That's the beauty of it.
He's total chaos. Matter of fact, that's what his next handle name needs to be. Total chaos.
There you go.
You
Chaos
hear that?
Master.
Chaos Master. Chaos Master, total chaos at your service.
Yeah.
Trolling where no troll has ever trolled before. No, I'm joking.
Aw. We love you a lot. Lot.
Yeah. So, but you guys, before we go, I'd like to get some final thoughts in. Hollis, what do you think? What is your overall opinion? What do you think? Do you think Sebastian's going to be found? Um, what do you think?
I think the mother got rid of him, and I think she's going to be found guilty once they find Sebastian. I think she's a Susan Smith. She reminds me of Susan Smith.
Yes, Miss Bradley. We're fixing to start covering that case too. Caleb Harris, you guys.
That's another weird one. There's new information just came out on that in the last like 24 hours, I think.
Yep. Hollis, go ahead and continue saying what you're saying. You suspect the mother, and what else?
Well, it's just like the Susan Smith case when Susan Smith drove her two young boys that were in their car seats in the back seat into the lake, and then came out and said she had been carjacked. When in
Yep.
reality, the guy she was dating didn't want kids, so she made a
Yeah.
choice.
She got carjacked by two black guys or something
Yeah,
like that, right?
Yep.
she
That was
caused a
her
big
story.
ruckus,
What a witch.
but it
They
turned out
always
she didn't
blame it
want
on
kids.
black
He didn't
people.
want kids, so I just get the feeling that we're seeing a Susan Smith in the works here. That I'm going with that theory.
Do you think, can I ask you, who thinks she actually took him home that night and that he actually made it home before he went missing from the restaurant? Or do you think he went missing before she took him home? Do you think he made it home that night is my question.
I do. I do think he made it home, but I feel like this. I feel like her mentioning the thud, why would she mention that? Why would it be of any importance unless something actually occurred after that thud that brought this whole situation on, such as what if he did hit his head and she did not check on him? She did not ask him anything, and that she's just injecting that because it seems like it was possible that what if he did clunk his head, she just ignored it, and when she did get up, maybe he had passed. Who knows? But all kinds of theories run through my head like that, and I just I don't understand why she even mentions the thud if there's no real relevance to the case about it, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know who else said they heard a thud? Letitia Stout.
That's what I was saying earlier, Sammy. I said,
Oh
I
shit!
said,
Whoa.
yeah, I said the
Yeah.
thud when she was
Yeah.
telling her story. she said, she heard a thud.
Right.
And she made a point of saying that. And I'm guaranteeing you that so when they do find Sebastian, the autopsy will match up with
Oh
probably
no.
trauma to the head or however she did whatever she did.
And that seems to be
She
the only
created
way that it could be
created the
relevant,
thud.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, she created the thud. That was her. And she was the one that's responsible for this.
Well, I know there's some kind of reason Mom and Chris didn't want the work van talked about. And
Bingo.
I am just saying, speculating, allegedly.
Right.
Why would you want to protect the identity of the company that you work for to the point, if it has anything to do with your child missing, you're still willing for it to be kept undivulged information?
Right, but they weren't even protecting the identity of the company because they said the company's name. But then they were like, it's Brink's property, so we can't talk about it. Like that didn't the logic wasn't logicking there either. Because they said the company name.
Yeah, but that's just Chris speaking his own narrative. I don't have to listen to Chris's narrative. I say pull that van into evidence and search it top to bottom, every inch of it forensically.
Right.
I don't have to
I
listen to what
do
Chris says. You know what I mean?
I do have
There's
a
no value
question.
in that man.
Somewhere I heard that it's possible that Chris was not allowed to be in the house while Sebastian was there anymore at this
Right.
point. I don't know how true it is. I don't know where that came from. I can't remember where I heard it. But is that true? And would that not be a problem for the mom that,
Usually if
you
there's
know?
an open CPS case, the person who the case is against is not allowed to live in the house with the child who the case is against.
It does depend on the state, though, beautiful. And it
Right. Well,
depends on
that's
what
why
the
I said
allegations are,
usually.
too. But you are right.
That's
If
why
it's
I said
serious
usually,
allegations, yes.
which is where that rumor that he wasn't allowed in the house is coming from. People are because of that.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know if that's the case in Tennessee or not. And if people are getting that as factual Tennessee law or not, I have not looked it up. But that's where that's coming from.
So if that was the case, then this would have a little more implications to it in the overall scenario of what might have happened to him.
Right.
That bothers me. Yeah.
Right, because some people are also speculating that he was actually there, and they're saying he was in Minneapolis or whatever city it was because he wasn't supposed to be there, and they're covering
Yep.
for him. They're saying he wasn't there because he wasn't supposed to be there.
Well, we've learned the Proudfoots will pretty much say whatever they feel like saying at the
Right,
moment, whether it's true or not.
right.
Miss
So,
Brazzy, I'm hoping for you, though, love, just so you know. My fingers are crossed.
Just
me
an
too, Miss
update.
Brad.
I think that it's possibly just not a rant. I think it's like maybe a domestic, and I think it's smaller. Thank goodness. I mean, it's bad, but you know what I mean.
Right.
That was for the update, not what you guys were talking about. Sorry.
Okay, I was talking with my mic muted. Lovely. Could you repeat that again?
Who are
I
you talking?
said that I believe it's a domestic, so I'm not. It's like an active shooter, but not an active shooter situation, if you know what I'm saying. Like
Like
they're
it's
looking
more,
for somebody, but it's not.
it's a domestic thing.
Yeah. I mean, if it changes, I'll let you know, but that's where it's at right now. So that's all I can find. Okay, I'm gonna mute again.
No, you're fine. Okay, so we need to do, you guys, I hate to do this, but my husband has a work call in 5 minutes actually. So with that, I'm going to give everybody a minute real quick on the floor to say final thoughts. I hate to get out of here like this, you guys, but I've got to let my husband, do his business call.
Well, I'm just gonna say I'm 1,000% with Hollis. That's my thought. I am totally in agreement with Hollis. Everything she said,
Yep.
and that's
Kill
it.
Kill can, I can't wait to have you. Go ahead, Papa. Sorry.
No, that's it. That was my minute.
Agreed, Kill Kill. The timeline could be fictitious. Good night, Maurice. We love you, beautiful.
There you go, calling somebody else my name again. Just kidding.
Um, all right. Papa said, was there anything you wanted to add to that? You're with Hollis all the way, eh?
Yeah, that's my minute. I agree with everything she said. I can't say it any better.
Yep. I agree. I agree with Hollis on, well, I agree with all of you on a lot of things, but I hope if those glasses are Sebastian's that there is a chance that Sebastian is alive and he can be brought home. Um, Sadly, I think with all the lies of the parents, um, I don't think that any of us can say for sure at this time, yay or nay. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Oh, Fritz.
It's just such a sad ordeal all around. But hopefully
I
they'll find him one way or the other, you know.
I'm gonna go with Hollis's theory is very plausible for sure. But I'm gonna I'm gonna say he's still out there, and I think he's being hidden, and I don't know by who. But I don't think it's the Proudfoots because I don't think they care enough to hide
Right,
him.
right.
So, if he is out there and he is hidden, I think it could be because somebody was trying to help him, maybe.
Yes, Lo. I'll check again if there's some other way that I can undo it, but I undid it through Google, so he should be unblocked. I'm just gonna say that real quick. And Crystal, yes, I'm hoping and praying beyond any logic that I know, because God's logic and His knowledge are much greater than my own. I cannot give up hope that he is alive, even though I can see all the lies of the parents and stuff. I'm with you. I'm still holding out hope regardless. And I'm holding out that hope as a parent because I want Seth to hold out hope too.
Well, I think we all agree. We all hope, and we all hope he's okay. Uh, scales of the scale is leaning more towards poor kid isn't okay. Okay, and finding glasses, even though we don't know if they're his or not, all the more makes me think something wrong has happened.
Right.
So
Well, I really thought that I had unblocked you. As soon as the stream is over, I will go again and take a look and try to fix it. Um, Beautiful, was there anything, or Sammy, was there anything you wanted to add to any of this? We have very limited time. Like I'm gonna
I
have to
just
go.
want to say prayers for everyone involved, no matter what, and especially if all the parents in this situation are innocent. I'm saying prayers every day that Sebastian finds his way home, no matter what shape he is in, and now. So I'm praying for everyone.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
All right, you guys. And with that said, I hate to say it, but we are officially out of time. Um, so I'm going to, well, no, we got a few more minutes. I was looking at the live time instead of the other time. So we have 5 minutes. So
I
I'm
would
just going
just,
to take this. Go ahead.
I just want to say, share a smile, save a life. Remember that. We never know what others are going through. And I am muting.
Thank you, Fritz Spence,
Oh,
for
thank you
yeah.
so yes, thank you so much, Willat. And I really did. I thought that you were unblocked, so I will. I promise you, Willat, you are welcome here. You got to ease up on the trolling just a little bit because we're talking about very serious stuff sometimes. But you are welcome here. And the poop emoji was 99 cents.
I'm,
He's so
I'm gonna
funny.
I'm just gonna add one last thing. Miracles do happen. Kids that we thought were never gonna come home found and safe have come home found. Let's not forget about Elizabeth Smart and Jamie Kloss, who were found. Elizabeth Smart was found years after she went missing, and Jamie Kloss was found a year after her kidnapping. So miracles do happen.
Yeah.
And let's
They
just
do every day.
pray for a miracle for Sebastian and Seth. That's
Yep.
my final thought.
Amen.
Well said.
Very
Well
good.
said. All right, you guys, one more time, if you will look at your screens. This is Sebastian Rogers. He is 15 years old. Um, he is missing out of isn't it Hendersonville? It is Hendersonville, isn't it? I'm saying the name
Yes,
of the
it is
town.
Hendersonville,
Yes.
Yes,
Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Hendersonville, Tennessee. Um, He wears glasses. He's autistic. He's got a beautiful smile. I mean, look at this little boy smile. His favorite song is Eye of the Tiger. If you're going to be looking for Sebastian, maybe have that song playing when you're helping to look for him. All of you that are out here helping look for Sebastian, I just want to say thank you so much. And again, if my mods would be so happy, I mean, be so kind as to put my email up one more time. If you send me your address, I will ship you flyers to put up for Sebastian. Okay. So anybody willing to do that, just email me your address and I will mail you flyers to post for Sebastian. Post everywhere you can, get his picture out there, get his name out there, get his story out there. Let's help bring Sebastian home. And I would just like to reiterate our prayers and our thoughts go out to Sebastian and his family, especially Seth, at this time. And we just want to extend our prayers and our love to you because we know you're going through um, more than is bearable. And we want you to know that we're with you and we love you.
Yep.
100%. And we want I want Sebastian brought home to Seth. And I know you guys want the same. So,
Yeah.
alrighty. With that said, we're going to go ahead and start cutting it off here. Papa
Uh,
Sal, I love you so much. Thank you for coming up on panel.
Love you
Um,
too. Love all y'all. You guys are
all
great.
right.
Very
I'm gonna
happy.
remove I'm gonna remove y'all from the live panel, but I'm still gonna keep y'all in the room so y'all don't have to run off, okay? Oh, beautiful. Oh, she already bounced out.
I'm just
I
going to
love
say that's a wrap.
That's
Well, it's
correct.
about time, Hollis.
That's
Bye.
Bye, Crystal. Love you.
Love you. Be safe, everyone.
I'll
Crystal.
see y'all all in Discord in just a few minutes, you guys.
Beautiful messy balls. Take care. Low 12. Take it easy. All you guys. Love all you all. Okay. Talk to you
Love you
soon.
too, Papa Sal.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye bye.
Sammy, you didn't get to stay with us on panel very long. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Lovely, before we we get out of here?
I think you gave me every opportunity to express myself, and I want to thank you for that. I am still praying for everyone involved, no matter what. So that's the very best that I can do. I'm just so sad with that. So many children missing out of Tennessee. It's just crazy.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Sammy, for everything you do, and thank you for everyone that brings so much uh to the show, to Regina and Hollis Crime Chat, because it might be Regina and Hollis Crime Chat, but the crime chatters belong to all of us. And I thank you for being here, and you are so appreciated. And I love you guys. So, with that said, Sammy, thank you very much, and I love you. I will see you in Discord, beautiful. You guys, it is so easy to hate and to bring sadness to other people in this world. Um, but it's even easier to share a moment of kindness with a stranger, with a family member, with anyone. Um, and it could actually bring about beautiful unities. It can bring about faith. It can bring about hope. The simplest act of kindness can even save a life. So, with that said, you guys, lock your doors, lock your windows, stay safe. If you see something, say something. And as always, my friends, blessings and goodbye.